Okay, we're here.
Oh, I miss
We're
Twitch
here,
chat.
chat. Can you hear us okay?
Hello,
Hold on, let me turn
chat.
off my
Hi.
music. Okay, welcome everybody. This is the pilot episode of The Take, and this is your normal cast. It will be me, Anissa, and Denims whenever we do this, which we haven't fully decided.
Hmm.
You know,
I
like,
I feel like we have to wait for the internet to decide for us.
Yeah.
You know what I
mhm.
mean?
We
It's
haven't
a
fully decided.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm really excited to start this up. I guess we got the idea to start this kind of like news drama Twitch show just because we wanted to get some different opinions out there. So we're just gonna talk drama with you guys and see how it goes. This is the first episode. Does anybody else want to say anything?
Yeah, I think there's like I think that there has been for a while a sort of gap in Twitch for this exact thing, for some female content creators to come together and just talk about the space. Because I think a lot of people are very scared to talk about the space, and I think a lot of people are scared to upset other people. And I think all of us are at the point where we don't really care if we upset other people. I think we've all accepted that it's gonna happen, and it is what it is. So we're gonna say our truth or whatever.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I think it's really easy for me because I don't stream ever anymore. And I've been clipped and like spread on the internet so many times that like I don't give a shit. I should at least like, I don't know, get a bag while I do it at this point. So, yeah.
So yeah, that is gonna be the show. That's it. I think that's everything. I think that's the introductions.
I'm quiet.
Yeah, I'm turning you up.
Me.
Okay. I know my mic
Mm.
also tends to come out a little quiet in Discord, so
Oh, I think we have the same mic. No?
oh,
Did we?
do you have the Shure SM7B?
I do. I'm
This
using
is
our
like the
editors.
podcaster mic, okay? So like you have to
Okay.
get it.
Well,
Mm-hmm. It's one I
this is
have.
like our
Yep.
audio file, our local audio file, and he's like our editor and stuff. He's like super into like all the tech. So like I was gonna use the snowball, and he was like, "No, you can't use that."
No.
So
The
uh,
snowball is good if you're like starting streaming and stuff. I think
mm,
it's a pretty good first mic, but
I
yeah.
agree. I won't hate on it. I won't hate on the
mm.
snowball. But
Um
well shit, do we just like get right to it or
I'm so scared. Why am I scared? I
Why am
hate
I?
that.
You're like, I'm getting scared. And even though we were talking for like 30 minutes
I
now for some
know.
reason, like,
No, we were behind the scenes, you guys chatting for like an hour. We were chatting shit,
yeah,
but
it was
honestly,
actually an hour away.
it's just honestly like we've been kind of like talking a bit like off stream here and there and it's just been honestly really nice to talk to other like like women in the industry. It's just been very refreshing. Like whenever I'm feeling a little bit fucking annoyed with what's been going on in drama lately, I'll just like be like in our group chat, I'll be like, this shit's fucking annoying me. And I don't know, it's just been like a nice release to not just feel like I'm fucking crazy all the time.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
I'm glad that we all agree that that's how we were going to use it because I was like, okay, is this going to be like a work group chat? And then like you guys were both like, no, this isn't. And I'm like, yes, okay, good, 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 good.
I was so ready to unload. I feel bad because I send you guys like books on there. I'm just like fucking typing for like 10 minutes. I'll like send like a fucking thesis.
But it's
Like I'll
also interesting though. Like Anissa will just like tell me some like I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know that at all. Like
Oh yeah,
Anissa will just tell me like some real like
I like stats. Which I mean, we were just talking about before we went live about how there's 64% of men, cis straight men are single between the ages of 20 and 30.
yes,
Um,
that new Reddit post. Or it
which
was
is
like
like
popular on
insane.
Reddit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which is an
Um,
insane amount.
that's very high. But the sad part about it actually is, because like I mean like it's kind of funny to be like haha, but it's actually kind of sad because also a lot of I think it's 1 in 4 men report like not even having one friend, which is kind of insane. I think COVID
Yeah.
obviously made it worse. But I think like a lot of like what we've been talking and venting about is all kind of tied in with the atmosphere of what's going on, you know, in everyday life. And it kind of ties into the other stat that I've been seeing a lot is CDC was talking about how there was, I think it's like a 24% increase in teen girls having unconsensual sexual interactions with men. You're
Like
seeing
adult
increase.
men?
No, they're
Okay,
peers.
okay, got it.
And sorry, men. That's man. You can't say. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like you say men, you don't say boys. You say girl, you don't say woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fuck. But there's an increase in sexual assault in young people
Really? I
against
haven't
women. Yeah,
heard
yeah,
that. That's
yeah.
I haven't heard this at all.
24% increase, and that was before Roe v. Wade. So these numbers are coming in before that happened. Young women are more depressed. So clearly the system is not working for anyone. And I think that even we're feeling it, and we're pretty like, we're very lucky where we can be pretty removed from the system and society if we choose to be.
mm-hmm.
And if even we're feeling it, you know, people that have to function in society every day. So it's nice for us to vent to each other and talk about these things because, I mean, if we don't, we're going to explode, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's a mixture of like we do not prioritize community at all in the US, or like and COVID has made it worse. Like America's so individualistic in nature, and it's very like bootstraps in nature, and it's like if you're failing, it's not because other people didn't help you enough, it's because you aren't working hard enough and you need to work harder. And people have lost like the third place. I don't know if you guys have like heard of
Yes,
the
I
yeah,
Mm.
they've
love that shit.
oh god, it was so I don't know if you watched like the video from Not Just Bikes about it. It was really,
Yes,
really good. Yeah.
I love that
Just
YouTuber.
oh my god, he's amazing. But like we're losing these places that we used to make connections, that we used to build friendships, that we used to have this natural social connection with other
One of
people.
the things I've been saying too, not to cut you off, but I feel like a lot of it goes back to capitalism too. It's like all of
Totally.
these things that we used to do. It's like people don't have time to do shit anymore. People are overworked and they're tired and they're broke. People don't have time to go out and do like these activities and outings. It's like, oh shit, this is going to cost more money. And like most of the time people can't even afford the time off.
No, and
Oh,
also
yeah.
Like
third spaces are almost always free. Like public libraries are getting taken away. Like the things that we have left that are third spaces aren't making money, so they're being taken away for like movie theaters. I mean, even I feel like nobody goes to movie theaters anymore because now we have all these streaming services that like you can buy. Like it's crazy. I mean, we're definitely in late stage capitalism. We're definitely like I will say the US, I won't lie, even the difference between Canada and the US when it comes to like individualism is kind of insane. Like I didn't think I would feel a difference, but holy shit. Me and Ian have lived in 3 different houses over the past 7 years. Unfortunately, we had to move because we were doxxed out of one of them, but all 3 we had incredibly busybody neighbors that like wanted to talk to us and wanted to see what was up and wanted to like, you know, kind of just get in our you could tell it wasn't like, "Hey, I want to get to know you because, you know, we're neighbors." It was like, "I want to like get in a position where if I need something in the future or you're doing something that I disagree with, I can like get in your shit." Do you know what I mean? Whereas like where I'm from, neighbors don't talk to each other, right? You're just kind of like, you know, we're all existing and, you know, if you need something, I'm here, but like we don't need to like get into it. But we've had nightmare experiences in all 3 houses that we've had with neighbors that just care a little bit too much.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't understand the busybody neighbor meme until I moved to the US, for sure. And I
Yeah,
thought moving to Seattle would be better, but it's not.
it's like I think that every single American on some level is like brain rotted into thinking that if I'm not spending every single minute being productive, I am a failure.
Yep.
chat,
And
did
I don't
I
have time to
get
go do
I
this
think I
stuff.
got the
have to be
volume
productive.
fixed. Did I chat? Did
Oh,
I get the volume
fine.
fixed? No, it's my fault. I can't get like the volume balanced out right. Okay. I think it's better now, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Everything sounds fine. Okay, sorry.
Nice.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, no, it's really very depressing. On to maybe
Yes.
more depressing thing.
I guess let's get started with our topics. Okay, the screen share is showing now, so
Okay,
Cool.
perfect. So I guess the first thing that we were going to talk about was the Kai clip, and I
Oh
figure I'll
god.
just play it first.
Go on there and post a personality. Show me how funny you are. Show me how, you know what I'm saying, how nice you are.
But you might see that stuff and I take you to Arby's and you're like, we done. That's all. You might look at my personality and then I take you to Arby's and we done. We done. You ain't going on that date with me. You can look at all those posts and go, oh, he's got the greatest personality.
Money. How about that? Stop.
Okay, I think that's the
Okay.
whole clip.
She's working it for sure. Like, I don't know. I think for me, what hey, we all have our thing, you know, and maybe his thing is like, you know, what is that called? When
It's like the
you
voyeurism.
Voyeurism.
voyeurism or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's like no one's consenting to that shit.
Yeah.
Like that's like a massive, like literally no one's consenting. Like I don't know if you've ever been in that situation in public where like you're definitely a part of someone's fetish and you're like, I'm not.
I don't want to be here. I
Shit.
really don't want to be here. I'll never
Yeah.
forget. I was like waiting in line for like one of those like salads. So it was like a chopped or something. And I'm just sitting there trying to eat my salad. And right in front of my salad, this guy, he puts his hand down, I guess, like his girlfriend's pants. Like, not like he doesn't grab her ass. He like puts it under and he like grips it. And I'm like,
No. That was isn't that a meme? Isn't that like a really in front of the salad?
Yeah, it was literally, I couldn't believe that it was happening to me. Like the literal meme was happening to me. And I was just like, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess sometimes you just have to do that or something. You have to.
The sexualization of women when it's done by a man is always seen for some reason as like way more like why so cleavage is not acceptable, right? People are really upset about that. But like as long as like Kai's in control and he's getting like a full on like sexual act, like I mean, you know, maybe she's rubbing his thigh. Like it's just very interesting. It ties into like what we're gonna talk about later with like Aiden Ross and like watching literal porn, where it's like if it feels like if the woman is being sexualized by a man or it's in control, like people seem to have like less of an issue with it, even though it's actual sexual content rather than like people sexualizing things themselves, right?
I think also like people find it like funny, like they're like, "Oh, LOL, like you're sexualizing
Yeah,
those women."
yeah,
LOL,
like
it's really
his
funny.
fanboys are like, haha, look, Kai's getting bitches, ha ha ha. Like,
Yup.
I don't know. One of the
But like if
things
it was a chick just doing her normal hot tub stream, it's like, "This is unacceptable. Stop putting this sexual content in front of our children." And it's like,
Yeah, where are the 12-year-olds now?
Are you guys
Right?
surprised Twitch hasn't banned him yet?
Yes, I
am
yes.
genuinely surprised.
Like-
I'm actually surprised.
I'm not even like expecting like a perma ban or anything, but I thought like the ban for like sexual acts was like 24 hours because there was that other woman, it was like a few months back that had like sex on stream. Like she was like I don't know exactly how she was having sex. I can't remember, but it's like you couldn't see anything, right? Yeah, it was doggy, but you couldn't see anything.
No.
And this is kind of like the same thing. And you know, like then they were all like calling for her to be permanently banned and like freaking out, frothing at the mouth. And now they're just like, oh, this is fine. You know, it's like, where are they now?
Yeah.
I just don't. And like the reality is like, let's say she was just touching his thigh. Okay, let's just say. The ban, like if he got like a 24-hour suspension, the 24-hour suspension is to say, hey, we don't care what you were doing. What you were doing looked way too suspicious.
Yeah.
Don't let it happen again.
Yeah, like be aware, you know? Like I remember back in the day, I got like whoever my partner guy was shut my stream off for me because I had like I was wearing a lower cut shirt and I was wearing a lace bra underneath. And you know how like lace goes a little bit higher or whatever?
Yeah.
So like the lace was like poking through or whatever. They fucking shut my stream off. And he like messaged me and was like, don't wear that again. And I was like, okay, can I like stream again? And he was like, I would wait until tomorrow. That's what he
And
said to me.
I don't even know how to, like, all the girls
What?
know, like, whenever you're wearing a tank top with a bra, like, sometimes your bra will just show. It's like,
It
Yeah.
reminded me
sometimes
of,
just very hard to avoid. Like,
It's like I feel like I'm
school.
back in high school.
like
Yeah.
high school. Like it was so traumatizing to me because I had a bigger chest in high school and I had the same thing happen to me where like all the girls were wearing this like Lululemon low cut like sports shirt and I wore it, I wore the same shirt but like because I was bustier like I got pulled in and they were like you should go home. Right? It's like that same energy. It's like don't let me catch you, doing that again. And I feel like with like it makes me mad, right? Like my fucking lace bra pokes out of my low cut shirt, and all of a sudden it's like shutting the stream off. He can get like a very sensual thigh rub at best and a fucking cock massage at worst and like nothing. Like
It's just like because the reality is that the precedent on Twitch, we do this all the time with plenty of different bands where like if you bring someone on and they scream a slur on your stream, you are responsible for that person. It doesn't matter that somebody else said it. You're responsible for all the content you put on your stream. And so like you can set a precedent and be like, we don't care what you are doing. It looked too close to this other thing. You need to be more careful in the future. And it's not like a ban that would matter, like a 24-hour ban that's not like doesn't affect anyone. It's just a hey, please be more careful in the future. We don't want anything that looks this sexual on Twitch.
Do
I
you
would argue
guys?
that like this would a 24-hour ban would help him, right? Like it's more attention.
True.
When like I watched so when my can I mention this? When my controversy came out that everybody for some reason cared about, I was watching British TV on live stream with my viewers and a fucking lady tit popped up on the screen. What either a lady tit or an overweight man tit, it's very hard to tell. It was like very zoomed in. But Twitch banned me like on the spot. I think they had eyes on me because of like the controversy. But they banned me.
Was
and
this
then
around like
everybody-
2015 era?
No, this was like so it was when everybody was upset at Ian for letting me have a job.
So like 2017,
That was, like,
2018.
2020. It was 2020.
Was that
was,
so
like,
soon? It seems
COVID.
like it was so long ago.
No, that was like COVID era. It was like right at the beginning of COVID, and I got banned for this zoomed in image of a tit. And I remember Keemstar reported that I got banned for like twerking on stream, which by the way, I would love to be able to twerk. I can't. It's not in me. I don't have the flexibility.
Oh,
But like
Keemstar's such a
everybody
good reporter.
was talking about how I twerked, and like it actually boosted my channel because everybody was like, "This bitch twerked," and then they like wanted to come check it out. So it probably even helped him, to be honest.
Oh
It's
yeah,
so-
100%.
I feel
Like-
like do you think it like has to do with like money and like him having like his whole subathon thing happening now that Twitch is like maybe they would have if he wasn't doing this whole thing where it's like he might hit 300k subs. You know, like
he's definitely gonna break the
300
sub count for
subs.
sure. The thing that I was like also surprised that he didn't get banned for, he was having a phone call with someone, and the person on the phone call, like,
oh yeah, I saw
said
something
the
about
F
this.
slur. Like he was saying, so he
Oh.
was like, oh, what do you want to like kiss someone or something like that? And he was like, no, I'm not a F slur. And I'm like, and he hangs up on him, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've seen people get banned for this.
Sure. Absolutely. What? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wasn't there also something, I might have seen something earlier too about him having like one of the band streamers, like him calling one of the band streamers on his stream and it being obvious it was one of the band streamers. I think
that.
I Show Speed or something. I don't know.
I didn't see it.
I saw something
didn't see
about
this one.
that.
Man,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, to be honest, I've always been under this impression, and like maybe it's not popular, but like the thing that Twitch kind of like has always done, and I think it's smart of them to do, is like decide on a whim, like to ban someone. I know this sounds horrible. People are gonna be like, no, this is fucking a bad take. But I think that them always knowing that they have the power of like we're the platform that people want to be on, and I don't care how big you are. Like if you're dumb as fuck, like I will ban you. Like Phantom Lord was a good example of that. He was huge.
Mhm.
Phantom Lord was like super popular, and he was caught like with that gambling scandal, which I don't know. I know there's a lawsuit happening. I don't know if he did it or
He
not. It didn't
apparently
matter.
won the lawsuit and got money
Did
from
he?
Twitch. Yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
he like definitely was a scammer.
He
Like it's like
definitely
he
was.
definitely did it.
And Twitch was like, "Nope, I don't care that you're the biggest streamer on the platform, like, see ya," you know? And, like, I'm not saying they should ban Kai, I don't want, like, people to think that I'm saying, like, Kai should be, like, banned off the platform, but,
Mhm.
like, just keeping that kind of energy of, like, we're a platform that you wanna be on, and there's no other platform that can, like, do what we do, so, like, behave. I think that's important because if you don't do that, you leave a foot in the door that is like in between like the content creators that are radicalizing people and the content creators that are on normal large audience platforms.
Oh yeah.
If you're not kind of like putting your foot down, and I personally, especially in the climate that we're in today, I think that that is irresponsible to do.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, that's how, I mean, Twitch should care about running their business that way anyways.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in the same boat where it's like, I don't really care if Kai gets banned or not. It's not really going to make a huge difference. It's more just like a gigantic question mark from Twitch, where it's like,
Hmm.
what? Like, you guys really just like randomly pick who you want to
Mhm.
ban, when you want to ban them, how long you want to ban them. It feels like they like close their eyes, they throw like a dart, and then that's how
Yeah.
they decide whether or not someone gets banned.
No, they totally do that. I had a conversation with Izzy about this because we used to stream kind of, you know, at the same time. We had like the same gimmick going on, and she was like, I never got it because like you would do something and I would do the same thing and I would get banned for it and you
Like
wouldn't.
why you had the target.
Yeah, like what happened? Because like I would draw on myself, for example, back when it was like not acceptable to like
Before
draw.
Amarath did it.
Yes. So, like, I was drawing on myself, and I wasn't getting banned, and I even drew, like, fake cleavage, like, on stream. Like, I was really, like I put red pill on my tits at one point, it was crazy. And so Izzy was like, "Oh, yeah, that's fucking funny, I'm gonna do that." She got banned. So we couldn't figure out, like, why this was happening, and then I went to, TwitchCon one year, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, Rainbow Kids." And the person who was, like, a partner on Twitch staff was like, "Oh my god, my girlfriend loves your stuff." And I was like, "That's why I'm not
Okay,
getting
got it.
banned." It's just
Mm.
Yeah.
it's literally just whatever they decide, you know, whoever they like and whoever they don't like, which human error happens and like there's going to be biases. Obviously, like when you expand the team that's making decisions and it's not up to one individual, you'll get like more consistent, clean decisions. I have no idea how they run that, but definitely back in the day it was extremely biased and it feels like it hasn't changed at all, to be honest.
It
I
feels like
take that
there's
for a
never
second.
any rhyme or reason. Yeah, it's hard to navigate Twitch sometimes because it's just like, okay, so is this bad or is it bad? Like, is this
Yeah.
bannable or is it not bannable? Because of sometimes how they just decide. I don't know. So, like, one of the things that I say sometimes is, I don't know, like, obviously I want Twitch to like ban hate speech, but sometimes,
Mhm.
like, some of the more gray area shit, I just wish that they would just leave it alone because they can never seem to
Yeah,
get it right.
I know. Just let it
Like,
talk its way out. It will go to one side or the other eventually. And when it does, then you can deal with it, in my
mm-hmm.
opinion. I don't know.
I don't
The gray
know.
area shit though is like very I don't know.
I'm
It's
It's
just
trying
a
to
very
think of an
unprofessional
example.
way.
yeah.
It's so unprofessional to like host a platform like this. And it
Mhm.
really does feel like they're just like, oh, what are you guys gonna do about it? You're gonna what are you gonna go start
Oh,
streaming on
perfect
YouTube?
example of the gray area shit is whenever they banned E-Rob for like a whole month because he was joking with one of his moderators and said that he was gonna beat him up or something and he was clearly joking.
Yeah.
Like
I can't
that,
believe
like shit
that they
like
banned him for
that
that.
they do will just like sometimes blow my mind and I'm just like, will you guys just stop? Because one of the things that I feel like happens too is whenever they make moves like that, I feel like it's almost like the whole community is just mad at women then. They're like, oh, look how they banned so and so for
Yes.
this, but they won't ban
Yes.
the women for being whores. It's
What is
like,
that?
Yep.
Alinity, wasn't it like when Dr. Disrespect got banned, everybody like started talking about how Alinity isn't banned, and they were like mad. Like, where did Alinity come? What? How did we get to Alinity, right? Like, I
It's
just
it's like it's just whataboutism. It's like, oh, okay, well, this person was mistreated.
what about
which
We should mistreat
Alinity?
these people too. It's like, what do you mean? Why can't we just agree that this person was mistreated and Twitch made a mistake or
Yeah.
didn't do something or that they should have done or fucked up or whatever? It was like it's the same thing with like I don't know if you guys remember the Gideon stuff where
Yes.
like
Mhm.
he
Yeah.
got banned for doing something that was against TOS. You're not allowed to hate raid people, and what he did was classified as a hate raid.
Mhm.
And Pokey did like so much to try and like rehabilitate his image. They like did streams together and everything.
right. It's just like at this
And-
point, give him a second chance. It's like clearly
But the-
Pokey's.
The
Right?
problem is that like the problem was that he went to TwitchCon and you're not allowed to go to TwitchCon if you're a banned streamer, and he started interviewing people there and they were like, that's it, now you have a perma suspension. We're never
Oh, I
listing
didn't
it.
know that part of it. I just thought it was kind of left off at like Pokey and him kind of like reconciling and him kind of apologizing, and then they were just like still putting their foot down. I didn't know about that.
Even that though, like even that, Gross Gore was banned, and he went to TwitchCon, and they said the same thing. They were like perma-banned, and then they let him back on the platform, and then he like did a bunch of really weird shit and like scammed people out of their money to like.
And they're
he said
like,
it was
what is he on about now? Like talking about like how to become a cuck or something like that. What the fuck?
Sometimes
is he
I see
on?
like the shit he says, and I'm just like, what in the world?
Ian
Like-
read a tweet. He was like, he prefaced it. He was like, "This is not parody," and he read it, and he was like, "My girlfriend blew her vape into my penis hole. It was next level." Like, what?
Yeah, that sounds like him.
What has happened to this man? Like, I am terrified. I am really not.
Does that feel like anything to have something blown into your penis hole? Do you
I
think?
thought people
Huh.
didn't like it. I thought that was
Does
not.
it hurt? I know soap in your penis hole hurts. I think
Yeah, I've heard
Just a
about
little
this.
air.
there's a little air in there. If you blow in a woman's vagina, she can die, right? Or
Yeah.
Is that a myth?
I don't
I
know
believe
if it's death,
it.
but I know that like bad things will happen.
Bad things will happen to you. You're cursed. It's actually a curse.
You blow a vape through a woman's vagina, she becomes cursed.
Mhm.
A man's penis hole becomes cleansed. That's the difference between men and women.
That's why men are better than women. Okay, don't forget it. Oh God. Yeah, I think that's mostly it on this one.
One of the
Unless there was
things, I
something
guess,
else.
the last thing that I'll say is I feel like this is proof. You know how like everybody's always like, oh, Twitch always shows so much favoritism towards the girls because they want to fuck them and they're giving them nudes and whatnot. And I feel like it's just like, can you guys just finally admit that Twitch shows favoritism towards who's popular? Like, that's
It's literally
it.
if you have viewers, Twitch will be nice to you. That's it.
Mhm.
Unless you do something really heinous that they can't like ignore. And that takes a lot. Like if your favorite streamer gets banned and they're very popular, you might want to like just imagine maybe-
Reevaluate.
Yeah, there was maybe a reason
Mm.
that you know it happened.
Because they don't want their top earners leaving. That's like
No.
all their ad revenue, all their subs. Like,
No. I wonder if
They
Dr.
don't.
Disrespect will ever tell us why he got banned.
I
He
don't
said he doesn't know, right?
I feel like he claims to not know, but in my opinion, it's like I don't know, like I feel like he would say it by like if it were something in his favor or something that it's like, oh, Twitch shouldn't have banned him for and does bullshit. I feel like we would know about it right now because he would be screaming about it.
Reason. I feel like it was a really dumb reason or something really stupid or something that was his fault. And that's why he didn't make like a huge deal about it. Because he's like a big character. He's a big personality. I don't see why he wouldn't take the opportunity to like make content out of that. You know, I feel like the only reason is because like the reason he was banned was actually really lame or something, and he didn't want to share it.
That's true. So interesting. But yeah, most big streamers that get banned, you know, it's usually for a reason, and sometimes, to be honest, that reason is that they clash heads with staff. I've seen that too. Like There's a YouTuber, I won't say who it is, but I could tell Twitch staff already didn't like him before he started streaming, and I warned him. I was like, look, when Twitch staff already doesn't like you, like the worst
Yeah.
thing you can do is like push boundaries. I was like, stream with a shirt on, don't like say things that can be like construed wrong. And he got banned within a year. He got like 3 strikes really quickly for like really benign stuff, to be honest. But
There
like you
was
can almost tell.
there was a period whenever I first started where I felt like I kind of walked on eggshells. Like I knew exactly like what I could and couldn't do. And like I had even heard whispers from other people that like the staff were out to get me. But I think with like who's on staff now, I'm fine. But I think whenever it was early Twitch, they hated me. But anyway, what are we talking about next? Is that our segue into we were talking about whenever Twitch bans somebody, it's probably for good reason. So does that mean we're talking about Aiden Ross next?
Yeah, actually, that's a perfect segue.
good.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see if I can put it on the screen.
God bless Austin Ox for
Compiling the thread.
Oh my
compiling the
God.
thread.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay, so I'm
Very
pretty
helpful.
sure.
And I feel like
Let's
this is like the shit that we'll talk about a lot anyway. Like in just like in regards to I feel like this whole like Aiden Ross down the incel rabbit hole kind of bullshit and like what gets them there? Like what gets them to that point? Why are they like this? You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Casey was saying before we started streaming that it's kind of crazy seeing Aiden Ross like in real time kind of be radicalized.
Yeah, like we saw it happen in front of us.
Yeah, just insane. All the clips are there. Man, and when you see clips of Aiden, I don't watch Aiden at all, but bless that guy's little heart, because I just think I don't know, something's
Yeah. Okay.
What's going
so,
on for real? Like
So the clip that I wanted to show was the one of like the porn thing on Kick where he was just streaming porn on Kick. But I'm scared that the video is like TOS, so I'm just gonna put an image of his face while I play the audio of the clip.
okay.
And then I'll share the Twitter thread.
Do you think is that his real teeth? He's got nice teeth.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay,
Shit.
so here's the audio.
Porn? Bro. What do y'all want to watch on Pornhub, bro?
What do you want to watch on Pornhub?
What do y'all want to watch, bro? I don't support porn. Like I don't support the shit.
What?
The fuck do y'all want to watch on here, bro? I don't support the shit. I don't condone it. I don't support it.
And at
The
this
fuck,
point
y'all-
in the clip, he has like Pornhub open, I think, and he's just like hovering over different
Want to
videos.
watch?
Why is he he's acting like they're controlling his body.
Come here real quick.
There's no fucking way.
What?
You're just having this on stream.
Is that bad?
What? Why don't you just like rate videos for them?
Do what?
Rate videos for them, like 1 through 10.
Because I don't watch porn. Have you ever seen Two Girls, One Cup?
Ew, her nip. Ew, bro. I'm not looking at.
No, come here.
They're purple, bro. Her
Donated
nipples are like
$1.
purple.
Transplants
Ew.
don't matter, burn M.
You got me looking at like 5 different dicks, bro. I don't want to look at this shit.
Chat, do y'all still beat your meat, yes or no? I don't want to watch this shit either, bro. This is bad.
Like, what the fuck do you have pulled up?
Yeah, this is stupid as fuck, huh?
The guy's
Feel
mad that
hard?
he's seeing
No.
dicks on a porn
Feel-
website.
Is he mad at the
The
porn
fuck
in general?
cheesy.
Because he claims to like have stopped watching porn, right? Like he claims.
Yeah, he's one of those. I don't believe it.
Okay, and then this is like this part of the video is like it's not 2S, so I can pull it up on screen right now. This is when he asks how old his audience is.
Oh no.
So this will be good, guys. All right. You guys are gonna love this part. Oh man. Hold up, it's just loading really quickly. Oh my god, Twitter. My Twitter's
Twitter?
been, like loading.
No,
like,
mine has. Okay,
terribly.
it's Twitter.
Yeah.
I knew it was
Twitter.
Twitter. I've been
Mhm.
having it take forever to load, and I'm just like, I think it's just this piece of shit website ran by Elon
I'm pretty sure
Musk.
at this point, I'm pretty sure it's the website is just going to shit.
It
Mhm.
totally is.
Okay, and then here's the.
You have to have Twitter Blue.
No.
Tap.
Feel it.
Are
What
you
the fuck,
serious?
Keezy?
I'll be back.
I don't. That's the other
Wait, how
thing
old
that
you
I
guys in the
really
chat, bro?
don't like about Aiden is the gay baiting that he does.
Oh,
He does
yeah.
like, a lot of gay baiting
A
to
lot.
like make people laugh.
Yeah, it's like,
Uh,
wouldn't it be funny if I was gay?
Yeah, I really don't like that behavior. It's
Yeah.
very. Oh my god.
Jesus.
12,
Okay.
14, 12.
It's
15.
funny because
know
they're
that.
doing like he did exactly what they're always like, like, oh, here's these fucking cam girls showing fucking porn to 12-year-olds. And it's like we all know here that like those cam girls like don't have like a
Yeah.
12-year-old audience. Like I'm sure there's like some curious like
No.
boys that go
I
in there
definitely wanna
every
watch.
once in a while. But for the most part, it's like they're fucking watching games. Like they're not watching Amarath. Like
No.
but it's just funny. I don't know. The hypocrisy is just so funny. And I guess it's just like, wow, so it really is only wrong because it's a woman.
Yes,
It's just like, wow, they really hate women.
It's the same with like OnlyFans, like people being mad about OnlyFans but not Pornhub, right? Like I
Mhm.
mean now they've moved the goalposts to like porn is bad. I've seen a lot of like these like radicalized men. Sorry, my nose is so fucking plugged right now.
You're right, though. They are starting with this whole
They're
like
starting
porn
to
is bad,
do-
just like Aiden was on about, because
Yep.
it's some
Mhm.
Andrew Tate shit, isn't it?
Yes,
Yep.
they're going back to purity culture. Like we're reverting further and further back into like this like I think they're trying to get back to this time period where they felt like they were in more control overall, right? Which is like this purity Christian like saving yourself for your partner or whatever the like porn rots your brain or whatever the argument is. But it started with OnlyFans, and I 100% believe that it's an anger towards like women having full control over their body and being able to decide like what's sold at what price and like who they're going to sell it to. And it's really weird because you'll hear a lot of these men talk about how like OnlyFans like women, but a lot of the top creators on OnlyFans are men. A lot of men
Oh,
can
my
get a
chat
bag on
knows. My chat knows.
yeah, like Nick Cotto Avocado is fucking like
Oh.
top or some shit on there.
The way that I've seen,
Oh, yeah.
like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
There's another creator. He's like I think either the top creator or the second top creator is a man, and it's like you don't like the men that say like, oh, men can't make money on OnlyFans. You can. You just don't like the audience that you would be pandering to because you're incredibly homophobic about it. If you wanted to like fucking, make content, there would be a lot of people that would be interested in seeing like if Aiden Ross wanted to make an OnlyFans, he'd make fucking bank off of it.
Oh yeah.
So,
Are you
like,
kidding me?
Oh
all
my
these
God.
people like claiming that like they can't make money off of OnlyFans, it's like you can. You just don't like the audience that would be there. So
Yeah.
like
It's just that they want their cake and they want to eat it too. Like
Yeah.
they want to be like, but I only want to make OnlyFans for hot women
yeah, and
to
it's
watch
like, that's
me.
a you problem. Like nobody can pick. It's kind of like getting into massage. Like you want to be a massage therapist, but you only want to massage hot, tight bodies. You don't want to massage the 80-year-old woman that's coming in for like her like issues. You know what I mean?
It's like, listen, man, do you think any of the girls who do OnlyFans want the audiences they have? I
Yeah.
promise you, every single woman who does OnlyFans, she wishes her entire audience was women
Yes.
that
Of
were
course.
into her. Like,
I-
we
oh
get
my
it, man.
God.
We get it. We also want the same thing that you
Yeah.
want. Too bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the dream audience. Like, I'm sorry.
It's
like, the
true.
dream audience is like you
Is
wanna have.
women.
I mean, to be honest, in my opinion, like dream audience is like trans women, non-binary, like are my favorite. Every time I have like a nice comment on Twitter, it's like one of the
It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of these groups always
Yeah.
consistently. Yeah.
But I think like honestly, like young male audiences are the fucking worst audiences on the planet, by far. And I think that it's an easy way to get a bag really quickly. But I think everybody grows to regret it that like specs into that audience. You know what I mean?
Specs. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean you're right. Like because I think once you realize that like oh, I'm using my platform to make fun of these people, to make fun of all these women.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, you're telling me that these women actually are in positions of power sometimes and that these women are like attached to men that are in positions of power and I have to care about this. I didn't know this.
Yep.
I was just thinking about what was entertaining for me in the moment. And in the moment, what was entertaining for me was making fun of women, was slut shaming women, was making sure that my space is not safe for as many groups as possible, because at least I will get the white incel radicalized young boys to give me money.
And then you go out in public and you have fan interactions, and they're literally the worst thing on the planet. And you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, the amount of times me and Ian have been in public back when he was like more, I guess what people would like consider edgy. The fan interactions that we had were ass. Like,
Oh.
horrible. Really unsafe feeling, really weird. People like yelling slurs that shouldn't have been yelling those slurs. Really just shitty situations. And I remember we went to a TwitchCon. It was like 2018, and we were with Donkey and Leah, and their fans were so fucking sweet. They were just like nerds that like wanted to give them games and wanted
They're
to hang
just the
out with them.
gamers. They're just the
They're just
wholesome gamers.
so sweet. And Ian was like, why are your fan interactions so good? And at the time it like hadn't clicked with him like who his like major audience was and like what that meant, you know. So I think that was kind of the beginning of like, oh, this is not like the audience that I want to spec into. And I think everyone arrives there. Like, I think one day Aiden Ross will like be out in public and like fucking just be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, no amount of like popularity is like worth it. But
I mean,
right
he's
now
already like dealt with it at least a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw the last person who like swatted him, they said like you need to stop having black people on stream.
Yeah, I remember that. They do deal with like he does deal with a lot of swatting and like the prank call, just like the overall awful fucking audience that nobody wants. Like,
And it's because it's like you are building this community of people who watch you be edgy. They watch you say all this edgy stuff, and they're like, "Well, I can do it too." But when they do it, it's not even close to the same.
Well, the problem is that a lot of I don't know about I can't speak for Aiden, but like a lot of people that kind of like spec into that audience and don't even know that they're specking into it, you know, you start making content and you start like getting views for it, and it becomes like Pavlovian, where it's like, oh, I've said this joke that like either you didn't mean it that way, or like it was meant there was a different intention behind it, or like you know, whatever it might be, and people liked it, so I'm gonna like keep doing that. And then you get to the point where you're like, oh, like this audience likes me. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I'm also confused.
I don't know how these fart noises are going off. I have it for my stream, but I have no idea like what they're playing from. Actually, I think I do. No, I don't know what they're playing from. Hold on, I need to disable them. Can you actually hear them?
Yeah.
I don't know how you can hear them either. I thought I heard one earlier, and now like since we noticed them, it's like of course they're gonna like play a bunch of them.
Where I heard one earlier and I was like,
There was one
I'm
that
just not gonna
happened
comment.
earlier, and I okay, I'm like sorry, I'm like, fuck, how do I turn this off?
Sure enough.
They don't hear them. The chat doesn't hear them. Only we
Chat
hear
doesn't
them.
hear-
My chat
Really?
doesn't hear it. Oh my god.
My brain, like, I'm like, where the fuck is it playing from? Okay, but I'm gonna disable it. Manage rewards. Okay.
Um, but yeah, the specking into it on by accident of like just like having views come in, and then like I remember when Ian did like the Tana content cop, for example, he specifically was like very much like, I'm not gonna comment on her appearance, and I'm not gonna like sexualize her or like make any like statements about her like being, you know, sexually promiscuous or like whatever, right? He was very careful with like his arguments. And we were in he felt like he did a good job, and we were in a like a gift shop, and these two women came up to us and they were like, yeah, we loved your content, cop. Tana's such a whore. And it was
Mm.
so like abrasive, right? It's like it's this realization that like even just him making a content cop on a woman, like if you read the comments, they were just like, they didn't even care about like what was being said in the video. It was just like, oh, this is our chance to like jump on a woman. And I think that was like, there's just like little things that happen where you start to realize like what your audience is and like what your responsibility in that was, and like what that means like going forward. And I'd like to believe that everyone that starts ending up in this like pigeonhole that Aiden Ross is in one day wakes up and goes, oh, I'm a problem. But
Yeah.
obviously a lot of them don't, and it's really sad. But I think a lot of them learn that it's shitty, even if they
Like,
keep
I
doing
think
it.
it was very similar to like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff, where
Mm.
like, don't get me wrong, Amber Heard was abusive. Like
Mhm.
Amber Heard was abusive. She was an abusive person in that
I
relationship.
like how I already know what you're gonna say because I preface my whole thing the same. Like I'm like I'm not supporting Amber
I'm
Heard.
not supporting her. I'm not
Like
supporting her at all. I'm not saying anything she did was acceptable. But what do you mean you stand with Johnny Depp? He was
Mm,
abusive back.
mhm.
I
Mhm.
know.
Why are you
It's
standing with this guy? Why
choosing a
are you
side.
standing with either of
I
them?
know, it's
Mhm.
fucking weird. That was so
I'm
I was
so
so
glad
confused
that
by that.
era is over. But
Like,
you know,
that's
like
insane.
honestly, it's been that was like about a year ago now, right?
Was it? Wow,
Oh
time
my
flies.
god.
That was about a year
Really?
ago now. And just like thinking of the timeline of events like since then, right?
Yep.
And because it just feels like maybe that was kind of like the turning point that
That was
like
the
sent
beginning.
yeah.
The beginning
I
of
don't
the
know.
end.
Like I find
No, legit.
myself I don't know, like I find myself especially like I feel like these past like 2-3 months on Twitch have just been especially awful for women and everyone. Like don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, like fuck. But I don't know, like lately I've just been like have I always like hated it this much and gotten this like
No.
frustrated? Like has it always been and I don't know, like I'm like maybe I have. I've always like been pretty fucking I don't know outspoken about how I feel about how Twitch is sexist and shit, but I'm like,
Mhm.
is it getting worse? Was that
It's
like
like
the
on one hand, I want to say that it's getting better in some ways. Like
right? Like I don't
there are
know.
people like Hassan now who at least like they use their platform to be like, no, I do not support this misogynistic shit. No, I don't support this. No, this is not acceptable behavior. But then I feel like in other ways it's gotten so much worse with like, why is Aiden Ross so big?
I think what it is the polarization and the separation is becoming louder for both sides. Like there was a time where like all male content creators on like Twitch were a little wild, a little irresponsible, and like definitely saw women as like something to kind of play with on stream, like female streamers, and
Make
like
fun
it was,
of a
yeah, make
bit
fun of
like
a bit, but it was like more benign, it felt like. Whereas like now we're getting like a hyper polarization where you're either like Hassan, where you're like really making a point of like, and I think even if you don't polarize yourself, other people do it for you, right?
Yep.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So like good example of that is like to be honest, like Ian hasn't made very many political statements ever, but we got married and he took my last name, and people dug up the marriage certificate and like posted it everywhere and made it like political, right? Like people are polarizing him like for him. And there's a lot of streamers that I feel like are you know, trying to stay neutral, but even in trying to stay neutral are becoming polarized, or
Mm-hmm.
feel like they need to say something and polarizing themselves, like Asmongold's recent you know, statements just talking about the Ohio thing, right?
Oh
Like
my God.
people are feeling the need to polarize themselves, I think, to keep up with the climate, and now
Mhm.
we're seeing the results of that. So
I'm
I
like,
think
oh, I polarize myself all the fuck away to the
so have
very
I.
farthest left as I can fucking go.
But
Like,
like you
shit.
have to. I feel like there's no way in the climate that we're in right now that you can't. People
Yeah.
either do it for you or you do it yourself. There's like
Yeah.
no, I think. But and that's why I think in some ways like you feel like it's getting better, and then in some ways you're like it's getting worse, because it depends on like where you're looking, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Mhm.
I agree. I wanted to put the tweets on screen
Oh,
the that
yeah.
Austin compiled,
Mm.
of like the stuff that happened on Kick.
Oh
Let me see if I
God.
can put this here. I'm gonna like zoom in so that it looks a little bit better on stream.
Well,
But
I
yeah,
read through this thread and I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Like, honestly, I'm just like, is he, I guess like we're getting ready to read through this, but my first thoughts were like, is he having some sort of like mental breakdown? And then
Yeah.
I'm just like, or is he just like brainwashed? Like, is he just like on the far end of like being brainwashed? Like, I, I don't like, I'm just like, what is going on here?
I'm
So
in the same boat where it's just like it's why? Like what is the purpose? Like so just off the first tweet, Aiden is streaming with Trainwreck on Kick about his Twitch ban and the future of the platform, and he starts his stream saying there's only two genders.
well,
Why?
I don't. Why
Because
is
it's
that the
so
catchphrase?
important. It's so important that men have the ability to say that. Like they just have to be able to say it. It's so important, and God forbid anybody take away that right. They have it's their fucking God-given right.
It is the
Like I
weirdest
don't
thing
know,
to
it's just
obsess
like
over.
yeah, they're fucking obsessed. They're
I don't
obsessed.
understand.
It's not like I feel like there is there is like a subsection of like cis men that like trans people, they just like live rent free in their heads like at all times, and it's like I want to say that it's like some mixture of like transphobia, homophobia, and misogyny where these cis men will, because I don't know if you guys have seen like trans porn consumption
Yeah.
is like at an all-time
Yep.
high, and
Mm.
it feels like there are these like cis men, like obviously not all cis men or whatever, but like there's a section of cis men that are like,
Mhm.
well, I watch this trans porn and I think trans women are hot, but that would make me gay, so I can never admit it.
Mhm. There's definitely some
think
self-hate
there's
going on.
so
Like
many layers. Wasn't there a guy on TikTok who's like he talked about how like he started watching porn and it made him watch all this depraved shit, and then
I remember
he was
this.
watching trans porn and then he had sex with a trans woman, and like he talked about it like it was like he had like
oh my
picked up a
God, I'm
heroin
like,
habit.
is this their
Yeah, the way
next
he
move with the porn is evil shit?
Yeah,
Is this their
probably.
next go-to?
Probably.
Like, oh my
Because
God.
whatever makes them horny makes them mad. It's like a
Uh-huh.
weird like kid. I've watched a lot of people talk about the way that sex is portrayed in porn, and porn being the main way that a lot of young men in the US get sex education, because we're so terrified about talking about it, right? So they watch this porn where a lot of American porn is violence against women, control against women, and there's like a heavy correlation between like having sex is a violent act in heterosexual relationships. It is an act of violence. So there's a lot of like correspondence of like anger and violence and want to dominate in like
Mm-hmm.
feeling sexual want for another human being. So I think that like that's really fucked with a lot of these people's brains, where like they watch trans porn, it makes them horny, and like horny makes them mad, makes them like I also think part of it is like a lot of these men view anything feminine as like literally the devil. Like, you are so stupid if you give up any masculinity, whether that be like wearing makeup, whether that be who your sexual partners is, whether, you know, you decide that like any amount of femininity period is like Satan.
And
Mhm.
it's
But
like
if you're a woman, you're extra like you
extra
are
Satan.
the
Yeah.
epitome of Satan.
I mean, it
I mean,
goes
like-
back to the damn Bible.
Yeah.
Have you seen the people who are genuinely like, is it gay if I want my girlfriend to peg me? And it's like,
Yes.
you're having sex with a woman. How is
know.
that gay? I am so confused about how that could be gay.
There
That's
was a
crazy.
Reddit post about it was like, guys, what did your homophobic dad tell you was feminine or girly growing up? And some of the answers were insane.
Mm.
One of them was like, my dad thought it was girly or feminine to build a fire log cabin style, which is like the right way to like build a fire when you're camping. So somebody replied and they were like, womanly/gay to build a fire correctly. Got it. Like, just the weirdest shit. Like,
I mean, like, even like a more direct example as well as on like maybe a slightly different path, like Ian taking your last name. Like,
yeah.
first of all, this is my personal opinion, and like maybe I shouldn't say this, but I think his name it flows better now. That's just my
Totally.
opinion.
No, his last name. We listen. There, it's funny. So Ian did like an Anthony Padilla thing that's gonna come out later, but like that's one of the things he talks about is taking my last name. And like, we honestly, at the core of it, we were like, Anissa Washburn sounds like shit. Like, that is the ugliest fucking name I've ever heard. And Ian Jama sounds better. And we were like, okay, well then we'll just pick my last name because it sounds better. Like, that literally was like at the
And like
base,
you said,
that's the
people tried to
biggest-
really politicize it
They
too.
wanted to
And it's-
politicize it so bad.
It's not politicized. It's not like you were like, yeah, well, Ian, if you don't do this, I'm going to chop your balls off. Like, that's just what's going to happen. Like, that was a decision that two adults in their relationship made
Yeah.
about their life. And other people saw it and they were like, oh, well, now I have to politicize this immediately. I have to
See,
politicize this right now.
Weird, because it really was like, at its core, it was like Anissa Washburn sound ugly as fuck, and he liked the sound of Ian Jama. And
I think
then
it
on
sounds
top of
really
that,
good. I think
Yeah,
Ian
it
Jama
makes
sounds
sense.
so cool.
Like, and no one knew his real last name, so it's not like he was giving up anything. Like, he had a fake last name on the internet. It was Carter. He had a fake last name, fake birthday, fake everything. And the other thing of why I didn't change my name is because I'm stuck in the US immigrating. So like, going through name change while being in the US sucks
That would have
ass.
been
It's
hassle. That would have been
easier-
so bad.
It was just easier for him. So like, there was like, it would just made sense. Like, we weren't attached to it. It was like, whatever. My dad's also sick, and it like, you know, I just felt like I'm more attached to my last name than he is to his. We'll put it that way. So there was just like so many things that were like, well, why not? And like, we didn't think anyone was ever gonna find that out. Like, it was never gonna be like public information. But like, the incels were so quick. Like, literally the day after we got married, they like searched up our marriage certificate.
When I think I showed people the clip that you were talking about. I showed like a friend of mine, like a normie friend of mine, doesn't use the internet, and they were like, I don't get what they're laughing about. And I was like, oh, they're laughing because he took her name. And this person like looked at me and he was like, are you serious? You're joking, right? Like, this guy is a caricature of like an alpha male.
Yeah.
There's no way anyone is this stupid, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
crazy.
I wish I could tell you that. Unfortunately,
This is the world
they
we live
are
in.
this stupid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's so weird to like put your nose in someone else's business like that. For what reason? Why?
We were so shocked that anyone cared. Again, it reminds me of like when I, started. Can I talk? Can I say?
You can say it. I think it's just
Okay.
that you're not like allowed to like promote it, but Twitch has gotten like very lax about it and like
Okay.
they're much more normal.
When I started my OnlyFans, the only person we thought would care was like Keemstar,
Mhm.
who would like report on it and be like, whore or whatever, and like that was
Yeah.
gonna be it. But the internet cared so much, and we were so shocked. I was like, is my head that far up my ass that like I couldn't predict how much the internet would care about this? And it's the same thing with like the last name change, where like it are we that like fucking, I don't know. Sometimes I worry. I'm like, am I that like removed from society and like kind of far to the left that like the idea of like just picking what last name sounds cooler like makes people want to shit their pants out of like fear and anger? Like I was not
And
expecting people to care.
I think it's like it stems from this like male need that like we socialize boys to think that like you need to make sure that you never get emasculated, because the worst thing that can happen to you as a man is that you are
Mm.
emasculated, especially if you are being emasculated by a woman, because women are smaller than you and that should never
Mm,
happen. And so there's this huge fear of like, well, I'm a man, I have to be accepted by other men, I have to perform for other men, I have to do all this stuff for other men. And it's like, why? Why not just do what you want and what makes you happy? Who
yeah.
cares about all this other stuff?
Yeah, it should be based on like just what is best for the relationship. That's the crazy thing is like my relationship is so healthy when it comes to like decision making. Literally every choice we've ever made has been like something that we're
Mhm.
100% like on, and we make the decision together. We've never done anything that it hasn't been like 100% agreed upon, and I mean that's just the way to live life. And to worry about like gender roles,
Mhm.
especially with things that are and like the crazy thing about it is like I'm domesticated as fuck. Like honestly, I'm not proud of
You
it. I kind
are.
of hate it. But like I cook all of that motherfucker's meals. I like to clean. I am the fucking most domesticated bitch on the planet. But like I he took my last name, and like all of a sudden that like it's just weird. The whole thing is weird, but I understand that the internet likes to project whatever they want to in the moment on a person, and it's not a reflection on us. It's a reflection of whoever's commenting on it, to be honest,
Yeah.
usually.
I mean, I would say almost always.
Yeah.
That's like a good rule of thumb, that it's very rare that they're commenting something of substance that's actually relevant to you. And
Yeah.
it's almost always just about them.
Yeah.
Mhm. A
Um,
lot of projection.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God, like I have so many people projecting at me every day on Twitter. It's hilarious. Like,
It's
It's
exhausting.
it's
mhm.
wild. I just don't understand how these people have so much free time to do this. I don't think I've ever left a hate comment ever,
Mm-mm.
because I see
No.
something I don't like and I'm like, okay, do not show me tweets like this again. And
Yeah.
then I keep scrolling. Like I
Yeah.
don't understand the mentality behind like I have to go send it. I have to send my message right now. I need this person to know that I'm unhappy.
Especially when it gets personal. I can't imagine like I don't know. Sometimes I'm on TikTok and I'll like read comments and I'm like, why the fuck? Like, would you ever say that to anyone? Let alone like you didn't like the video, fine, but like, man, some people get so nasty and personal. The worst is like concern trolling.
Oh
Concern
God.
trolling.
Mm.
Oh my God.
The
It's so
worst.
pathetic. It's
Yeah.
it's yeah. So for the following stream, or like in this stream that he did after,
We
yeah, this
no,
the
like we
topic, right?
before this show started, we were like, gosh, like what are we gonna talk about? And then we were
Yeah.
just like, no, we'll be fine.
Yeah. I was so concerned. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be so awkward. Like, oh man, I haven't done a show on stream in so long. And then we're
Mhm.
just sitting here chatting. We like forgot that, oh yeah, we have to we have stuff to talk
We have
about.
stuff to talk about.
Hmm.
My bad.
Um I think the more notable thing is that Aiden asks about if they can bring over Nick Fuentes, a self-proclaimed Nazi, and Train refuses to comment.
Mm.
And this is happening on like Aiden's stream as he's talking to um Trainwreck. At 110,000 viewers, Trainwreck asks Aiden if he's circumcised. Of course, I'm Jewish. Aiden pulls up another kick stream, heel mic, as he has a stripper on stream after getting a 1-day ban for streaming himself receiving a blowjob. Trainwreck says, "No nudity, no porn on kick. If you let this happen in 4 days, this won't be distinguishable from a campsite."
So is
And
porn not
then
allowed then?
it's
Soft porn.
soft
that
porn,
what it
I
said?
guess.
Didn't it
I
say soft
don't.
porn?
I think so. I have no idea because he didn't ban Aiden for that, and Aiden was streaming actual porn. So I have no idea. I think it's because it's like it's a porn react, and you're not actually making porn. I have no clue.
I actually think
Um,
the most interesting thing about this thread is Train's responses
uh-huh.
to things. Very weird. Um, don't know how to feel about it. I feel like Train. I was saying this to uh my partner earlier today. Train feels very actually sentient, like it's there, but he actively ignores the sentience. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
I
it's
think
like
I feel you.
he knows what's up, but he like doesn't care that he knows what's up.
It feels like he lives in this world of like cognitive dissonance, but
Yeah,
it's what's the term? Inconvenient for him.
that's what I mean. And like,
Mm.
does that make it worse than someone who is just mush, right? Like Aiden Ross feels a little mush
Like
right
he's
now.
aware of what he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. I don't know, because these responses, a lot of them I'm like, huh.
See, I guess okay. Like I guess I would say Trainwrecks is kind of like an Andrew Tate. He's kind of like the type that the Aiden Rosses look up to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, didn't he literally blow up after he did that like incel tirade or whatever? Like he had like an
Mhm.
incel speech that he did, and that's how he got his original
Oh
following.
my
Mhm.
god, I remember that. That was fucking something. It was
It
something.
was just it's just absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, it was the what was it? People were spamming it. That audio. It was like chips and salsa. I think was what it was called. It's talking about. Oh no, that was before the one that you're talking about. He had one that was kind of dipping his toe in, where he was talking about like you only bring whores to a party. Something about chips and salsa. Does somebody know
He
what I'm
had
talking
all
about?
sorts of really crude jokes back in the
Yeah.
day before that one like rant like really took off. He had all sorts of
Yeah.
like crude,
Yeah.
kind of sexist, hateful jokes.
Yeah.
So it's
And it's
kind
'cause
of
it's like
funny
it's just
seeing where it's gone now. Like,
oh god, yeah. Oh yeah. I like how gambling was like the final straw for him. He was like, no, you don't understand. Like, I have to gamble.
I'm putting my foot down.
You know, I was okay with all this other stuff. This is unacceptable. Let me show children how to gamble.
Is there no lawsuit potential for like them ripping basically everything from Twitch's shit?
So
Isn't
this is what I've been concerned about as well. I don't understand how they haven't gotten sued because the site is like a one-for-one carbon
Yeah.
copy. The only thing
Mhm.
that's different is that they've used different images for the categories. So like instead of the just chatting category, which like on Twitch it's like the girl smiling with like a cup in her hand, it's like a different picture. It's not that. But other than that, the site is like word for word, bar for bar, exact copy.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Twitch, has to have like the best lawyers. So them not acting on it so quickly, there has to be a reason why. Maybe they're
Yeah.
just like, oh, well, it would give them more attention. Maybe they don't want to give the site more attention by suing them. Maybe they just expect it to fizzle out anyway. Maybe it's like one of those things
Yeah.
like, let's just ignore it and wait for it to die out.
Because I don't think that I don't think that Twitch is like running on open source like code, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Twitch owns the rights to basically everything on their website, unless I'm mistaken, because I haven't looked into it further than this.
No, I heard this. This is one of those things where like I might have read it, I might have made it up in my brain, but Twitch didn't they have like a hack that like leaked all of this shit, and that's where like Kick got it from, was like their shit got
Maybe.
hacked.
I remember like them having some sort of like hack like years, like maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know though, huh?
Which would be very interesting. I don't know. I I wouldn't be surprised if they get sued, but we'll have to see. It's very fucking weird though, because I looked at Kick and I was like, this is literally the same thing.
Yeah. Because it's
And like,
possible that just like in Twitch's opinion, they're just like this is a waste of our time and money, and Kick is like bound to fail because it's just like it's gonna turn into just like a gambling and campsite. that's what it's going to be. I don't know if you guys have seen, there have literally been people who are gaming on stream, women who are naked gaming on stream, and they put like a blur box, but they
Oh.
like they move around and then you see them naked and then they go back into the blur box situation. So it's like,
I love how
what?
Aiden's anti-porn, but pro blur naked woman gaming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't understand like what is happening. And they also have a terrible bot problem, which Trainwreck has already admitted that there's a really bad bot problem because Twitch has been dealing with a bot
Oh.
problem forever, and they
Mhm.
will always deal with it. And I
Yep.
don't think Kick has the resources to like fix something like that, because I don't think that they care about bots. I think they care about like how many people can we get into gambling, because
But it
it's
costs
owned
them
by
money,
stake.
though, right? The bots, because like if Aiden Ross had 111,000 people watching him, and like let's assume that like a chunk of that is like bots, that's like using up resources, right? It like costs them money to have these bots.
So I
sitting.
think the reality is that they're making more money off of getting people into gambling.
Oh,
And
okay.
they're
Mm.
viewing it as like, okay,
Okay.
well, we're running this platform, we have to pay for all these extra things, but think about how much money we're making off of people that are now gambling.
I'm just like, are they getting like, I don't know. I'm just like, these Twitch users, I'm like, do they really have all this money to be gambling? You
That's
know, like
also
a
what
part
I'm
of me is
confused
just like,
about.
how is like, why does Stake want this market so badly? Do they really have that much money? Like, I don't know. I'm sure there's some who do, but I imagine like a lot of like Aiden Ross or like Trainwreck's audience, I just assume like they don't have like a lot of money to spend on, I don't know.
That's the saddest part, though, is like it's just getting people into debt, and a lot of them like online gambling is such a problem. I don't think people know like so when drug addiction, food addiction, all these things, like you can see it on a person. Gambling addiction, someone can hide that for
Yeah.
a very long
I mean,
time.
you guys saw Slicker? Like,
Yeah.
his gambling addiction was so bad, and he reached out to all these people, and so many people were like, "Yeah, man, like you need $2,000. Here you go, man. Like whatever you need." Like, because the way that he said is like, "I'm just in a really bad place. I'm in a really bad spot right
Yeah.
now," and that's like crazy. That's like, it's crazy how bad it can get, and how, because there are no like warning signs, or there's no way to like tell, there's no way to even help this person or even know that you're getting scammed.
Yeah.
And I think Stake like knows this on some level. I assume they wouldn't be like investing this money into like a streaming alternative platform unless it was making them money.
Totally.
It has to be making them money.
I think they're creating addicted, young addicted people that they're just like pulling from. It's a massive grift. Like, yeah.
I mean, how many people have fallen for the Andrew Tate fucking Hustlers University? How much money do you think Andrew Tate made off of like literal schmucks who were like, well, if I pay this guy $50, I'll become a millionaire like him. And they'd have no idea that like he's making his money like profiting off of these women's bodies. Like that's not, and he's making this money profiting off of incels like you. Like you are not part of his clique. You are part of the people getting scammed.
It genuinely disturbed me to see that video. It's hard, right? You see likes and retweets and whatever, and it's it's a number. But seeing that video of like all those young men crowding around Andrew Tate, like coming out of a building and going into a car, and like how many people were there,
It was terrifying.
It was very disturbing, because that's definitely like someone's son, someone's like shit boyfriend that's gonna come home and punch a hole in the wall. Like these are people that are like out in the world, and to be honest, a lot of them are like young white men that are gonna fucking be in positions of power.
And the worst part is like he's not like, people like Andrew Tate, people like Aiden Ross, they're not even helping young boys. Like
No.
they're not, because
Yeah.
if they help them, they would no longer be able to profit off of them. They need you to continue to think that like, well, women are the root of all of your problems, because as long as you think that, they can keep making money off of you.
Well, and like a lot of the stuff that like Andrew Tate preaches is so invalidating to men anyway. Like he invalidates men that are victims of sexual abuse. He invalidates men that, are like have feelings. He, like everything toxic masculinity.
That's the sad thing about one of the in the thread with Aiden Ross. He made the statement that men can't get raped on stream,
Yeah, we haven't got
which
to
is
that yet. Like that just like honestly just made me
so
like,
horrific.
especially
Here it
like
was.
I just have to like wonder how many like young men in his audience that maybe were victims of abuse like heard that, you know? Like
Yeah, no, it's so fucking bad to do. It made me genuinely extremely sad to see that because you have that many young. I mean, the majority of his audience. I wouldn't be shocked if it was like literally 100% men watching him. Like there are quite a few people in that group that have experienced shit that
yeah.
you're making fun of or
Oh,
just
I mean, the
completely.
rates of like domestic abuse against men are like
Yeah.
in domestic relationships are almost as bad as women. I think it's like women, it's like 1 in 3 or 1 in 4, and men are like, in terms of domestic abuse, it's 1 in 5. Like one
Mhm.
in five men will experience domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Like men are experiencing this abuse. They tend to experience a different form of abuse than women do, but abuse is still abuse. And you're
Mhm.
telling all of these men, no, you're a pathetic beta, and that's why this is happening to you. And it's
Yeah.
like, why
Oh,
are you telling the what? Why are you saying this shit?
I don't. Yeah, I think it makes me really sad that like a lot of these playbooks are just like really heavily leaning into fascism. And a lot of people are buying into it because it's being repackaged and if you don't fit into this perfect mold, either figure out how to fit into it or you're a fucking loser. Like those are your two options. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see people like buy into that. It's sad to see uh a lot of young men like giving up their interests and their personalities and who they are to try and fit into this very strict mold that, to be honest, I don't think a lot of people would be happy in. Like
Mm-mm.
I don't know, it is very hard to watch for sure.
I just like I ask myself over and over again like what is it that's driving so many young men to this sort of like ideology, and overall I feel like a lot of young men are just feeling very displaced, like they feel like they've lost their role in society, you know, like they're feminizing men, like they feel like they don't have a place anymore, you know, they deserve their trad wife, like what happened to that? And I feel like we're just seeing a lot of anger because of
Mhm.
that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I
No,
feel like it's the
definitely.
displacement. And then, you know, like we were talking about earlier with like that new study that came out saying like 60% increase in single
Mhm.
men between the ages of like 20 and 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it, you know, has to do with like women, you know, like women having their financial freedom,
Yep. No, it's a huge part of it is like women having their financial freedom. I
and
think
men are
also
angry. Like some men,
totally.
some boys are
Yeah.
angry about it, you know.
Yeah.
And I think also like women have been dealing with sexism and female exclusive problems forever, but
Mhm.
women have had each other as a support system. So, oh, I am experiencing this like domestic abuse. I am experiencing male violence. I'm experiencing this thing. I can go to other women and they won't judge me. They
Mhm.
will be there for me.
I would
Like when
love I would
there is no
love
there is
for
no
that for
instance.
men. I would.
I
Like I
know.
would
I
love
I'm
for
yeah,
men to
same.
build that sort of
totally.
stuff. But what it always turns into is like that kind of like men's rights bullshit where it just
I
turns
know.
into like, well, men have to go and serve in the war. Women don't have to do that. That's
Yeah.
bullshit. Women should have to serve. And it's like, what if none of us had to? What if none of us were
What if
drafted? Like,
we all just stopped going to war to bomb brown countries? What if we
That
did
is an
that?
option.
it
That is
just
it's there.
it just always turns into like them measuring like you know like them being like, well, this is why we have it harder than women, and it's like that's not what it should be about.
It always turns into a measuring like a piss contest, which is
Hmm.
very frustrating. I think a lot of it also like a lot of I find it interesting. A lot of the people that go on these rants about like I want a woman that stays at home and I bring home the bread, but like the reality is the climate that we're living in, even if like did want that, let's say like
Hmm.
that is something you really wanted, no one can have a job that supports two people and like can like live in a decent environment. Like you need partners to be working right now in the environment that we have in like we are not in like a healthy place as like a country, as a society. Like there's no way to even be that type of provider anyways. So like
Mhm.
it's not reasonable for most people to have a stay-at-home partner, which is like a
I
whole other
think
issue.
I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, yeah, I found the article on it. Last time I checked, it said nearly half of American workers don't earn enough to afford a one-bedroom rental.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like about 1 in 7 Americans fell behind in rent payments as housing costs continue to increase.
Yeah.
People already can't afford housing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why you think that like you're going to support a family when no one is even able to support anyone.
No,
Like
you
it's
can't
not
even support
happening.
yourself. It's not the environment. And I think there's a lot of anger. I think it's like anger at the system that needs to be directed somewhere. And like people are told that like capitalism is fucking epic and awesome and cool. So then if you can't be mad at capitalism, if you can't be mad at the system, like you have to like turn that elsewhere. And I think like a lot of the polarization that we're seeing is that anger and is that like turning it and trying to find something to blame that isn't you, right? And it's really unfortunate to watch kind of like my dad used to say this all the time, that like infighting is control. And
Mhm.
if like they can keep people infighting, then like you'll never kind of get to that point. Like I remember like having this turning point with like the men that I have in my life that I've kept, you know, where like I realized at like maybe like 23 or 24 that I was like I can't just like blame the men in my life for like the way that they are, and there's
Mhm.
better ways to like learn that we're both victims of like a system, and like the symptoms of that broken system show up differently.
Yep.
And if we talk and learn and get together and like become a unit, like we're better off. And like all of my relationships with all of the men in my life are like super strong now,
Mhm.
because like we felt like we could come to a safe space where we were both like, okay, this is why I'm the way that I am, and this is why you're doing this, and like this is how we can come together and fix it, basically. And it's sad because I don't think a lot of people are in like, and this is coming from like a lot of privilege from me, right? Because I have an income that allows me to not be stressed all the time, and like can
Mhm.
have the space to do this shit. And I have a partner that's the same, and both of us aren't like constantly stuck in a rat race where we can do that. But
Mhm.
like most people cannot, in like the environment that we're in, even have the time to like have that ability to pull
Yeah.
away
Like they
and
already
think
have
about it.
so many like mental stresses like weighing
Yeah.
on them day in and day out because of capitalism. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all connected. All of it is like so heavily connected. And until like we start getting angry at like, I think that's super important, like at least to remind people in conversations. Like when I like for an example, when I was talking about like you know, a lot of these white men getting into positions of power, it's not a comment on the white men that are looking to like, you know, do the best that they can. It's a comment on the system that we have rewarding typically a certain type of person over another in positions of power. And it's a criticism or an anger at the system and not at an individual person, if
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
makes
and I mean it's like the reality is that it's much harder to um r- reconcile the reality that this problem is not so simple that it can be solved by just hating women,
Yeah.
that this is a problem of like unbelievable failure on every level,
Yeah.
that everything is falling apart. And it's very depressed. I mean, like I try my best to not like doomer pill myself thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, how the
Mhm.
fuck are we gonna fix America? This is a shit show. Um, you have to understand that like other people, they don't want this complicated problem. They want a simple problem. They want a
Mhm.
simple
Yep.
problem that they can put all of their
Mhm.
evils on. It's like telling me that like all of these capitalists are trying to convince you that you're just like an embarrassed millionaire and any day now you're going to hit your lucky break.
Yeah.
That's like people love to hear that. People love to
Yeah.
hear that. Nobody wants to hear, no, actually, the system is completely corrupt. These people are just trying to take your money. And the only way to fix it is by like literally demanding better from your Congress people, from your government, from your officials, like
Mhm.
demanding that you get what you need, voting, like protesting, like all of these things. Like you have to do these things. You have to be engaged, and that is too hard.
Yeah.
Hating women
Mhm.
is easy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you see it in like, again, like going back to the Aiden Ross stuff, it's like hating women, hating minorities, making statements like there are only two genders. Like these are easy things for him to do. It takes very little effort. It attracts a certain type of people that are very passionate because love and hate, same amount of passion, different side of the coin. And you either get people that love what you're saying or hate what you're saying, and that's like a very quick way to get like a lot of viewers. And I think that you have to like suspend your personal responsibility and awareness of what you're doing in order to kind of feed into that easy way to get attention.
Mhm.
Just like when you're angry at women or angry at whatever, it's like an easy way to kind of like get your hatred out and have something to blame. And you have to suspend personal responsibility to do it, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very not it's got a little depressing, but
Sorry.
but yeah, no. But yeah, I mean like for example like this conversation, like what is happening here? Like what is this? Hey Train, I have a question. Can guys get raped? Train, yes, guys can get raped. Aiden, can you give me an example?
Ugh.
The mood shift. We can talk about it later, and then Train leaves the call. Like what?
I wonder if Train's just like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into?
For real, because I can't read, like, the tone isn't there. Obviously, I mean, mood shifts help.
Yeah.
But, like, I wonder what Train sounded like in these, because, like, it's kind of, it feels like, Aiden just, like, opened a can of snakes, pop snakes, and just, like, let everything go everywhere at once.
Right. And it's going to be interesting to see what Train and like Kick does about it. Like, cause it's like the site already has such a bad reputation anyway. Like there's a lot of hate speech and just terrible shit on the site already. So then it's going to make it harder for them to get advertisers, etc. It's just like, so are they going to pull the plug on the Aiden Ross thing, or are they not because he brings in too many viewers? It seems like, well, I mean, I already said, it seems like they're just going to go the route where they just try to get more of the Aiden Rosses. They're trying to
I think
get
that
Yeah.
they
I
like
show
they have to
speed.
realize. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they realize that like this is they're only gonna get these type of like scumbags.
Yeah.
I think they recognize that.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think, like, you choose your demographic to go after, and then you try to pull more of that demographic. And uh yeah, I mean, I don't know. What, the Daily Wire, is that what it's called? You know?
Mm.
You just like start to see a pattern, you start to see what's getting clicks, and you just start adding to it and start, try to.
Oh yeah, and I think that's like the worst part. It's like the sad reality is that getting on and spewing some random ass trash, it gets people interested. It gets people engaged. People like it. Like edgy teenagers are always going to like it.
Totally.
And edgy teenagers are going to sit down and they're going to watch. And one person sees how successful this strategy is, and then
Mhm.
everyone else follows suit and they're like, "Oh, wait, this strategy works? Oh, well, I'm going to do this too. Oh, wait, it's worked for him too? Well, I'm going to do it too." And then you have like just this shit fest of like all of these people just being bigoted on their platforms because
Yeah.
it garners clicks, it garners views, and these people, their greed is like unfounded, where they just aren't satisfied with like Aiden Ross he's enormous. He's enormous in terms of content creation.
Mhm.
And it's not good enough. Like he needs more still.
Man, yeah. I
And
think it's
it's insane how like I guess what's been just like to like, wow, if you want some more viewers or more fans, you can just start saying some fucking crazy alt-right shit and they'll come running.
Mhm.
Like they'll come flocking. It's
Yeah.
just so, I don't know.
like Kyle Rittenhouse is like the most
Mm.
unremarkable human being on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But like, man, does he get mad likes on his tweet. He made like the worst video game I've ever seen in my life. It is like something I would have made in grade 6 on my fucking, Mac, original Mac, where it's like the ugliest fucking art and just shoddy. It's like shooting news turkeys or something. And like people bought it and people liked it. There were like people supporting it. It's insane.
It's really sad. It's really, really sad.
Every time I see that kid's face, I'm like, man, I want to fucking hit it. It's just so unremarkable in every way. In a video game.
In a video game. In a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I don't like that, like, his entire thing was like, I'm being politicized, and I wasn't trying to be politicized. I was there to help. And then immediately after that, he goes on all of these conservative news show hosts. He like accepts all this money from these conservatives. He does all this like, and it's like, listen, man, if you wanted to win me over and you wanted to like really be like, no, like you don't understand. I really was there just to do medical support. Like it was something that went wrong. Like that was not how I wanted it to play out. I was there to help. You want me to believe you after you do all of this? You go on all these conservative news show hosts and like try and get as much clout as you can so you can build a career doing this shit? Come on, man. You can't do this. I don't believe you.
I heard one of my political friends say that they got an email one day that offered them a fuck ton of money to like grift, just outright. And they said no, but they said it became very obvious what YouTubers that he knew took it. So
I heard about this as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really sad. It's very, very sad that there are definitely like the quartering, I think, is like the best example of someone who, like,
God.
That guy 100%, he has someone else that has paid him for this shit, because I'm pretty sure in private conversations he said that he doesn't believe any of this shit, and he just knows that like the Gamergate dipshits that if he can just talk about Brie Larson and be like, I hate this bitch, and people just go crazy. They're like, I have to give you all of my money. What is it? You sell mediocre coffee? Here you go. Here's my money. And it's just sad.
It reminds me of like the Fox News leaks that just came out.
Oh, how they all in text were like, oh yeah, we know what we're saying is lies.
Yes.
About
Dude,
the
they
election.
They're all vaccinated.
Yeah.
And what did they do for the entire pandemic? They were the first ones in line to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
And what do they do on their show? They just talk about how you need to not get vaccinated. Dude, like the best litmus test you can use, okay? The best litmus test you can use to know whether or not something is safe are the rich people doing it. If the rich people are getting vaccines, go get vaccinated. If the rich people are like, I would be suspicious as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But literally all of them.
I feel like though, if you're, I don't know, maybe this is dramatic, but if I was like on Fox News and I was saying that shit and like old people were fucking dying like by the millions, I'd be like, I'm killing people. Like I'm killing old people.
Oh yeah, no.
Like if you're sitting on
yeah.
Fox and like telling people like getting vaccinated is bad and there's like all these fucking people dying. It's not even old people. It's like fucking like I knew an athlete who didn't get vaccinated, and this has actually happened in a few athletes, which is insane. But he got COVID, and his heart got enlarged, and he almost fucking died. He almost died. He was so close to dying. I had a friend that I played lacrosse with. He died at 28 from COVID, from an enlarged heart. And that motherfucker didn't get vaccinated because the right, like alt-right media was like telling him like, don't fucking get vaccinated. I don't know. I'm just saying, I definitely would take some personal responsibility. I don't know how you could not at that point.
Yeah, that was me with like face masks, where it's like, I really don't want to wear a face mask and they're kind of annoying to wear and kind of annoying to remember to take with you everywhere. But yeah, if you're telling me it reduces the transmission rate to other people,
yeah,
I will be fine catching COVID. I'm relatively healthy. Every single time I've been to the doctors, they're like, yeah, you're all good. But knowing that I could like cough or something, and I'm I have it and I'm asymptomatic or something, or I'm not showing signs yet, and I just killed the old lady that was in the grocery
Yeah.
store next to me. Like, how can you have such disregard for human life?
It's so weird.
Mm.
I wish people would just admit that they don't give a fuck, like that people are dying, right? Like at least like it's the same thing with the gun thing, right? It's like if you decide that you wearing a face mask or you like being able to shoot a fully automatic weapon at your like gun range or whatever the fuck the meme is. I know that that's not what it is. Whatever the hell. Like if you want to be able to shoot your AK whatever AR-15 at the fucking gun range, whatever, letter number, fine, but then admit that you don't give a shit about dead kids, you know what I mean? Same with COVID. If you don't want to fucking like get vaccinated and like wear a mask, like fine, but at least admit that you don't give a shit that people are dying, right? Like
It's and
just
it's
be
also
honest.
like I would even say the oh gosh, I lost my point. Sorry. I completely lost it.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
It's like
like
going on. I
my
just
brain.
if people were more honest, at least, you know, I, I feel like we could have a better conversation because people are just like not talking about how many people have died from COVID, right? Like the people who don't want to wear masks, they'll just be like, well, it doesn't protect me or like whatever the argument is. It's like, bro, come on. Like,
I remembered it. It's the same thing with like the abortion stuff where like these conservatives will swear to their grave. They'll be like, no, we're doing it because we're trying to protect these women from making a decision that they're going to regret.
Oh
Okay.
my
Because they're going to
God.
have these abortions. And then guess what? Then they're going to become whores that are constantly having abortions for breakfast. And it's like,
breakfast.
what? Just you don't give a fuck about these women. Why are you lying? Why are you pretending like you care? If you
Yeah.
cared, you would just give them the choice to do what they want.
Yeah, the fucking abortion shit. I was watching this horrible this woman had a really unfortunate medical checkup for her pregnancy and she had like trisomy 13, which is like that child is not making it to like you know, if it makes it to term and is born, it will be stillborn basically. Had like a bunch of things going on and she was like really grieving it. But she lived in Tennessee. So guess who like couldn't get a fucking abortion, like get the pregnancy terminated? She couldn't do it. They were like, you have to like travel out of state. And in a lot of places, like even suggesting that she travels out of state is like puts the doctor in danger. Like no one talks about that shit. And it's not like it's like super ultra rare. Like a lot of like women deal with pregnancy complications and have to make like hard choices. So like the argument of like we need to save people from like having abortions for breakfast makes me so fucking mad. I just like I don't know. We're so uneducated when it comes to like reproductive health and just women's health in general, to be honest. I'm so after my like horrible experience like with my cervix cancer scare, I'm just so over women's health shit. I'm so over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And I mean like there was I don't know if you guys have seen it. There was a really good anti Greg Abbott ad. And that was basically the premise of the ad. It was like this doctor, he walks in and he's talking to this like couple and the woman is like pregnant and he's like, hey, I want you to know like your child will be stillborn and you know it's a really difficult decision to make, but like you know you need to know that it's not a viable pregnancy and I'm really sorry. And like the woman in this like this fake ad is like she's crying and he's like, but I just want you to know that the decision whether or not to have an abortion, that's up to Greg Abbott. So let me just call him and see if he's cool with it. Hello, Greg? You're not cool with it.
So good. That's such a good
Got it. Okay.
ad.
Yeah, sorry. He said it's not okay. Because
That's
it's
so
like
fucked up.
if a pregnancy is not viable and the child is just you're just going to give birth and then they're just going to die, why suffer any
So
longer?
much trauma.
It
It's so
seems
much
like they
trauma.
just want women to suffer, right?
Yeah,
Like it's like they
literally.
don't fucking care. Like I'm sure there's a lot of women even who probably like want to have kids and maybe they're scared, like, or maybe they've had that happen before and they're like, well, I don't want to try to get pregnant again and have another stillborn that I can't even get out of me now. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the idea of getting scary in like a red or getting pregnant in a red state is just like all around scary. Now it's like,
Terrifying.
even if you do want it, it's like, well, fuck, what if something goes wrong? Am I just like having to carry around my dead fetus in me for like Like, that's fucked up.
That's
That's
what
fucked up to put women
there was
through
a
that.
there was a woman who was talking at one of the like just trying to convince like lawmakers to like not go forward with overturning Roe v. Wade, and she was saying that like when she got the news that her child had trisomy 13, and she was told like that the child is basically, as soon as it, if it even makes it, as soon as like you give birth to your child, it's going to die. She said every single kick and every single movement that she felt for the next like 3 months
Ugh.
was torture, because it's like a reminder of like, hey, you're gonna have this really fucking painful, horrible experience of like birthing your dead child, and then you're either going to mourn it being dead, or you're going to watch your child die right after having that horrible experience. Just so you know, like it's like hearing women talk about the experience of having to carry children to term is so, I don't know, it's fucking so disturbing. I mean,
Mhm.
all of it. I mean, they're trying to now take away like the birth control pill from all states. I don't know if you like heard about that, but like
They
they're
want their
trying to
fucking baby
argue.
factories. They're sick
Yes.
of the birth rate being down.
Yes,
Like,
they're trying to argue that that it didn't go through proper trial testing. Even though it's been used in the US for like 20 to 30 years, this pill that they use for abortions, they're trying to argue that it didn't go through proper like FDA testing. So they're trying to like take it off of the shelves everywhere in America.
and that's going to especially affect young teenage girls. Like,
Yeah.
fuck. If I
Yeah.
didn't have, like, like whenever you're young and you just start sexually experimenting, it's like you're not covering all of your bases like you should. Like, I
Mhm.
remember having like scares whenever I was young and sexually active, and it's just like,
Yep.
fuck. I think of
And,
like
like-
depriving young me of plan B.
Oh,
Like,
my
that's just
God.
fucking terrible.
That's
And like,
oh,
let's be real too. It's like most, if not all teen moms are not ready to be moms.
no,
Like
no.
you are barely like the reason why I say almost is because there are some like girls that they are lucky and privileged that they have a wealthy family
Mhm.
that is willing to put their kid through pre-K, through all the other things that they need. Like they're like, if you want to keep this child, we will help you. And
Yeah.
in that instance, it's like that kid will probably grow up in a house of love with like everything that they need taken care of. So that's fine with me. But like everyone else, those are not people that are prepared to be parents. I am still barely capable of taking care of myself.
I know. I mean, yeah, fuck.
I mean,
I
like,
can't even imagine bringing a child in now. I'm like 29. I'm like, I can't fucking take care of a kid.
well, and I mean, even just like the finances and like
Yeah.
an already just like awful economy, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It just,
I also the foster care system is fucking horrendous and like
mhm.
rife with sexual abuse,
Yeah.
physical abuse. They don't give a shit. I've heard so many horror stories. Even people being adopted, you have these fucking like weirdos adopting people and abusing them even from a young age. I've heard horror stories about that, even where it's like I just our whole system is so bad. So even like the argument of like, oh well, just give it up for adoption. No, I'm fucking good. I think we should stop forcing people to have kids.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Maybe in a universe where we have a perfect foster system, I would be okay with that. Like at least like I would understand the conservative mindset. I would be like, well, we have a great foster system. We have a way for kids to find their way into loving homes. And I would be like, okay, I understand it. But you're not even doing that bare
No.
minimum.
No. I think they're cutting shit. I think I remember there was this one horror story of a family that was heavily abusing all of their daughters, their children, and had them like chained up, and like they weren't like bathing them, weren't feeding them, were physically abusing them. And one of the girls escaped and told the
I know who
cops.
you're talking about. The one who
Yeah.
became a model, the Turpins, I
Oh,
think.
no. Oh,
No.
maybe. they escaped, and then they removed them from the family. The parents got arrested, and then they put them into another home where they were abused
Yeah,
again.
it is that family. I know the
Okay.
ones you're talking about.
Fucking horrendous story. And it is not like I've heard of shit like that so many times where it's like no one is taking care. You are so I think everyone in life at some point, usually as an adult, hopefully as an adult, if you like have any chance of being healthy-ish, you get to this point in life where you realize like, holy shit, I'm alone. I'm alone, and even though I have people around me, like it's just me. And in like certain moments, like no one has my back. Um and it is so sad to put children through those paces at such a young age of like making them realize like I'm alone and no one's gonna take fucking care of me. That I just like
Hmm.
I don't know, it makes me so
Like being
emotional.
young and just like,
Not having
like
any
not having
protection.
any adult looking out for you at all.
No, not
Yeah.
even the illusion, right? Because we all
Yeah.
have a lot of healthy kids. You're supposed to. A lot of like psychologists that work with children and families will say like you're supposed to grow up with the illusion that the adults know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to feel like, oh, mommy and daddy they love each other and they always know what's best for me and I don't have to worry about anything because they're going to protect me. And there will come a day where like you realize like, oh, mommy and daddy fight and like, maybe they don't love each other and like you go through those paces, but usually when you're much older, or you should to have like a decent shot at like a healthy family life and a healthy childhood. So to put these kids through the paces of like not even giving them like a mommy and daddy, just like right off the bat giving them an absolute piece of shit that terrorizes them and not having even the illusion that parents or adults have it put together is so
Damaging.
horrifically
Yeah,
damaging. Yeah,
like
it's so bad. So, I don't know. I think our foster care system like is something that definitely needs to like get better and get improved upon. But like the fact that Roe v. Wade was overturned and then they're like cutting back on foster I think they're cutting back on funding on foster care. I heard somebody talk about that recently as well. It's like they don't give a shit. It's like they want everybody to be traumatized and poor and like cogs and
Yep.
just fucking grinding. It, fuck. It just Ugh.
like talking about the Roe v. Wade stuff and then like the Amber Heard stuff, like it's like obviously not the same, but I feel like all of the things that like got us here with like all of these young men just having such this hate and vitriol for women, I feel like it's like, okay, whenever you think of those things, it's like starting to make a little bit more sense, maybe why we got here.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's just like when you pursue money and profit and you are born into a like I you have to remember that a lot of people that are born into wealth like don't understand that there's anything other than like going after money. So it's just like this
Yeah.
perpetual like black hole and it's contagious. Like it's a super like having like an addiction to money or like this idea that you need to constantly be earning money is like incredibly contagious. So like it just gets spread and like everyone forgets that like sitting around and watching a movie with your friends and like just chilling is fun, Like you don't need to be in Bali with a Lamborghini and like sucking on coke to be happy.
It's
And
that capitalism brainwashing,
yeah.
you know? Like I
Yeah.
was thinking today about how they brainwashed me whenever I was young with Monopoly as a child.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my God, is
yeah.
that where that shit started?
Yeah. Earlier
think-
than that, cartoons
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Yep. Dude, I would say even worse. Maybe not worse. I don't want to oppression Olympics, but like especially if you're like an immigrant child, like
Oh yeah.
your parents, I feel like they really push you
Totally.
to do
Well,
Where it's
the
like,
most
we
that you
came
can.
here and you need to do something. Like, we
Yeah,
came
Like
all the
we
way
did
here.
the hard part.
Yeah.
We got you to America. Now work your ass off. And it's like, mental illness developing.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, legit. And even when you do, like, I have a sibling who's a lawyer, and like my relatives were like, "Why aren't you a doctor?" Like, excuse me? And like even my like
Wait,
my
to the sister who became a lawyer, they're like, why aren't you a
yes.
doctor?
Why aren't you a doctor? Like, why, like, being a lawyer is no longer good. Like, the bar, like, moved, right? It's like, you need to be, I don't know, it's fucking weird. Why aren't you a doctor? Doctors make more money. You should go into, like, becoming a surgeon.
Mm.
Really strange shit. But even, like, my dad, so, like, he came over, to Canada, and, he really wanted to be, he wanted to be a psychology professor specifically.
Mhm.
And my grandfather was not having any of that. He was like, that is not a prestigious enough job. We got over here and I did all this work, and like, you can't like be a teacher. You need to be like either a lawyer or like a doctor, or like there was like two options. It's like doctor or lawyer. And like out of the two options, lawyer was viewed as like less like good. So I have like one uncle who's a surgeon who like is the bomb.
Mhm.
And my dad is the lawyer. And so when my sister became a lawyer, all of my like relatives were like, "Well, yeah, that's fine, but like why didn't you become a doctor?" Like,
Mm.
can you imagine?
Oh my
Like,
god.
It's
and
it's depressing.
yeah.
And like
Yeah.
also, which it's so silly too, because like if you've actually talked to like family doctors, they will tell you don't become a doctor. Don't do it. It
Yeah,
doesn't pay well. It's
I
really
have heard that.
stressful. And
But I
basically say
thought
goodbye to your
everybody was
entire
coming
20s.
over to America because we pay our doctors so well, like because of our
Oh
current
yeah.
system. Like
I've heard that pro America healthcare argument so many
oh
times
my
as a
right.
Canadian.
I bet. Oh my
Oh my
god.
god. It's the worst. It's so annoying. The difference in healthcare between Canada and the US is there is none. It's almost exactly the same, except ours is free. Uh, and
Honestly,
anybody who argues that is, yeah.
I think with like the millennials like getting older and like getting to a point where they need healthcare and knowing how many of us don't have it, I'm like, I
Mhm.
think that's going to be really interesting to see how that unfolds over the next 10 years. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so interesting. We went to CVS to pick up like meds, and they were like, "Well, what's your health insurance?" And we were like, "We don't have any."
mm-hmm,
My favorite thing to do is like owe medical companies money here and just never pay it. That's my favorite thing to do. I have like auditors that call me all the time, and it's not a lot of money. It's like $100. But like
Uh-huh.
it's just the principle of it. I'm like, no, you're not gonna fucking get my $100. Watch me get arrested one day. But like we don't have health insurance, so we were at CVS, and they were like, "Oh, what's your health insurance?" And we said none. And they were like, "Oh, are you okay with paying full price?" And we were like, "Yeah, it's fine." And then they go into the computer and they search up way cheaper replacements for you. So like
mm,
a pill that was supposed to be like $90 is like $20
mm-hmm,
because they like replace it for you. We didn't even ask them to. They just do it because probably the pharmacists at this point are like, "Yeah, fuck this. Fuck this shit."
mm,
They like just found us the cheapest options. I was like, that's kind of cool. I mean, it's not cool. I mean, it sucks. It's still, you have to spend money, but like
Yeah.
it's crazy that that's how the system works, right? Like if you have insurance, you get paid. You have to like take the fancy designer drug. But if you
you have to
don't
pay
have
more.
insurance, yeah, you get the shittier, the generic, but it's cheap. So it's very interesting. Am I gonna get arrested for not paying all these medical companies $100?
I just like, I'm
I think
afraid
it's
of owing
fine.
medical bills because I'm like, will they be able to take my house? I
That's
feel
what
like
I'm. Yeah.
that's how they have fucking us Americans in fear. Like it's just like, well, fuck, they'll be able to take my damn house.
They make
Like,
me so mad. I have like the audit. They call me and I pick up and I'm like, I'm not paying this.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, just like no.
No, I
Mm.
don't. But I think it. I it's just so stupid that they the one that I'm like really putting my foot down about is like for my like biopsy that I had to get. They were like, this is gonna cost $500. So I was like, okay, whatever, I consent to that. And then they sent me a bill for like $500. I was like, okay, here's the $500. And then I got 2 other bills in the mail separately for other shit that was like related to the medical expenses that they didn't tell me about.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
they
you know
do
what?
that
Fuck
shit.
you.
I figured that out too whenever I went. It's like, oh, so this is just for like the bill, but then you have to pay the nurses and medical staff
Yeah.
as well. Like it's like, what?
Mhm.
Like this makes a lot of sense. This seems like a good system. This seems
Yeah.
like it's working.
The surprise bills are not a mood. I don't like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna pay. So we'll see.
I'm
I'll
like,
let you know how it
fuck.
goes.
I mean,
Maybe they'll
also like
arrest me.
a lot of the bills are like fake. Like if you
Yes.
just talk to them and you're like, I don't want to pay this, they're like, okay, and then they just drop them. It's insane. It's like fake.
I had to go to the ER because of my concussion that I got, and just see the doctor. Like I looked at the bill, just the doctor walking into the room and going, "Okay, we're gonna take you to the MRI," was $500.
Yes, no,
Mhm.
it's a lot of the always ask for like an itemized bill in the US because a lot of the charges are absolutely bullshit.
Oh my god! Like, who are you, the prince? Like, what?
And
feel
this
like-
is your room. $500, please.
What? I feel like you could get like the sickest cameo ever for $500.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
True.
I don't like that. Illegal.
No.
See, I'm like, we're having no problem finding shit
No,
to talk about. Like, fuck.
We have like Aiden Ross's like transcripts up on the.
I'm like, I don't
thing
even
and
know how we got here, but
I
we
know, I'm
started
lost,
talking
I'm
about
lost,
this,
but
but
yeah.
should we? What else do we have to? Should we talk about Asmon? Asmon. I always say Osmond, and my chat makes fun of me. Should we talk about that or?
Yeah, I think that'll be a good way to like end the segment or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ross.
This is our pilot episode. This is the 00 pilot episode. So we're like still figuring out our flow and like how things work.
And we're still gonna
like it.
make changes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna grab the link really quickly. Let's see.
Yeah.
I want to grab like the original like offending link. I think it's this one. I think I found it. All right. The clip is titled Asmongold tells an Ohio resident to just leave and then calls him a bitch.
Isn't that I fucking love the title of that, but also doesn't that give you Major Ben Shapiro telling people whose homes are flooding in Florida and other places to just move to sell their house that's
Oh
under
yeah.
water?
Oh yeah. People have made the comparison. There are like more clips that where like he's saying
I don't care about your
where he's saying like stop posting this. And then he like deletes threads in his subreddit that are posting the Ben Shapiro.
There's so much anger in this clip.
I know. It hasn't even started. Jesus. Okay, let's put this here.
Oh no.
I don't care about your fucking feelings.
Huh?
It's true. What I said is true. I'm not going to, tiptoe around your, touchiness because you're involved with this subject. Fuck you.
Whoa. Hey.
Stop crying.
What?
And if anything,
Hey.
supporting Americans struggle, best thing we can do with tax is turned off the video right there. To me, I didn't watch anymore. Thank God. Please don't do it anymore. If you're gonna cry and be a little bitch about this.
This guy
Guy
sounds
barely
like my
leaves the house
dad.
except for go to Wendy's. Has just moved to another state. A funny react for sure. Well, hey man, if you want to sit there and get cancer, that's fucking fine. Like, I don't know. I would view this as a life and death situation. I absolutely would, bro. I don't care about your fucking feelings.
So that's like the whole clip. The I can read out for anyone in chat who can't really see the text of the original Reddit post. It says, watching him react to this video actually made me mad. It's about the Ohio train wreck. First off, I'm from Ohio and I'm actually affected by this, even though I live 60 miles away. I have to worry about my drinking water for the next couple years. Asmon says just leave. People can't leave because they're not a fucking millionaire with a meme job. They can't sell their house. It's completely fucked. When there's a girl crying, her kid is sick, and the first thing a multimillionaire says, damn it, I don't want to pay taxes. Like, what? Fuck you, man. If anything, supporting Americans in trouble is the best thing you can do with taxes. Turned off the video there, and I didn't watch anymore.
The stop crying like constantly is like a interesting like way to go about it as well. Like, I don't know. We all say like I'm out of touch as shit, okay? I live in a world where like I could make that option to like move. And I'm sure like if I talk long enough, like I will say stupid shit that is out of touch. I think it's really important to kind of like listen to people telling you that you sound out of touch
Yeah.
and just be like, "Oh, my bad. I'm really dumb right now. Sorry. That was a
So,
poor thing."
Right, that's
That's,
all
like,
it took for
literally
him. That's all it took.
that's like literally my exact opinion. Like everybody's gonna make mistakes. Like that's literally, and especially if you're a streamer and you're
Mhm.
live for so many hours, it's bound to happen. Like
Mhm.
literally, it's gonna happen to every single streamer. But how, like the audacity that like someone will come to you and be like, "Hey, this was unacceptable. What is this?" And you'd say, "Stop crying like a little bitch. You're too like embroiled in like these situations, so you're being too sensitive about it. Like fuck off."
I
Like
was
that's the part that's crazy to me because
Mhm.
everyone's gonna make mistakes. I get it. Like maybe he
Yeah.
laughed at something that he shouldn't have laughed at. Maybe he made a comment when he shouldn't have made the comment. I get that. I understand. Like we're just human beings. But when someone pushes back, your first response shouldn't be insulting this person and saying like telling this person to stop being a little bitch
Yeah.
when they're saying I'm worried about my drinking water. Like what?
One of the
Yeah.
things this made me think is how, like a lot of like, I feel like kind of alt-right conservative type men will have this whole take where it's like very unempathetic and they're just like, well, fuck them. Like, like that's your problem, not my problem. I don't care. I just think about the statistics. I just think about the real world, like all that types of shit. And it
Mhm.
seems like it comes from a place where they feel like they're denied empathy as men, so they want to deny everybody else empathy out of anger and
Yep.
to show them better. It
I
feels like
think
it comes from a place of that.
it's like the stop crying and walk it off
Mhm.
mentality that they were given. And like I honestly also think like maybe trying to come from like a more maybe like maybe it's giving them too much credit, but like maybe that's the only way they know how to like help, right? Like if the only way you've been told your whole life when you're in crisis is to shut up and stop crying and like fix the
Man
problem.
up, and that is
It-
something that men are told, like
Yeah,
men
All
are,
the time.
yeah, like,
because it
mhm.
reminds me of like in my early relationship with Ian, like when something was wrong, his immediate like instinct was to find solutions, right?
Mhm.
Like we can't think about why you're sad or if you're sad or like be in the moment. I don't want to like talk about feelings. Like let's find a solution. And I think that a lot of men, because they weren't allowed to like sit in their feelings or like be like, oh, maybe you just want to like feel for a bit. That's not an option. It's like, oh, you're sad, let's fix it. And they kind of skip over the like empathizing with someone
And I
option.
think it's like, if I can add, because these are like amazing points. And I didn't even think about it from this perspective until literally right now. But
Mhm.
I think it's like this like fear of like experiencing emotions that aren't like anger.
Happiness or anger.
You're
Anger. It's
right.
like the two male emotion is like happiness, anger. And if you're
Yeah.
They're
experiencing
very
any emotion
comfortable in
that
those
isn't,
spots.
but
Yeah.
when you're experiencing things that are not this, we need to get out of this as soon as possible, as quickly as possible.
Mhm.
We can't be in this zone anymore. Instead of being like, I sympathize with you. I empathize with you. Like I am here for you for whatever you need. And
Yeah.
then when you're ready, we can find a solution.
Yes. And like I appreciate this like it's good that I have someone there for me that's like ready to find a solution, and I do appreciate like the care in that. But like I think that a lot of men, like if they don't kind of like get told like, hey, we're kind of like putting the horse before the cart and like let's go through this properly, like the longer that they're kind of away from being reminded that like not everything needs to be like we need to fix this. It can kind of turn into like just being ranted at, and I think that's where like a lot of this kind of stuff comes from. Like I think that like deep down like Asmon isn't like trying to be an asshole. I
No,
think
I don't
that
think
he is
so.
like passionately trying to fix a problem, and the way that he's fixing the problem is to tell people like what to do or like what he thinks they should do, basically. um which is like it's yeah, I think that if we just allowed people to take the time to have the space to feel the full, spectrum of emotions, we would avoid a lot of like, because everyone's hurting in this clip to me, right? Like I think Asmon is like hurt that he hurt someone, even though like that's kind of not what's coming off fully in this clip. I think it hurt him, so he's reacting, and his reaction is hurting people, like, you know what I mean? It's just snowballing into a whole thing because he doubles down after this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah, he
he
like
doubles
keeps
down
on
and triples
doubling
down.
down.
Yeah. And it's just like that's not necessary. Like
Yeah.
you can just say, yeah, I'm sorry. No, I was a little bit callous about this.
He
I'll
has
try
a
and treat it a
severe
little more.
problem with ever admitting he's wrong, though. He's one of
Yeah.
those. I feel like we have a few on
Yeah.
Twitch. There's a few of them on Twitch
I
that
think there's a fear of intelligence. Like they really value their intelligence,
so
if
they can't be wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's actually, when you talk about it that way, that's completely fucking true. There's such a fucking insane like fear that like, oh well, if I'm wrong, then my audience won't want to watch me anymore. And it's like,
Does it play
being
in?
wrong is part of the human condition. It's
Yeah.
literally every single human being will be wrong many times in their life.
Is it part of them like wanting to have the like this whole alpha, like them wanting to be alpha? You know how like a lot of them are just all on about like being alphas, admitting you're wrong, like beta.
Yeah.
It's like that whole thing too, right? I don't know.
It's like never go backwards, like you got to keep going forward. I do agree with that. Soy. Somebody said soy, which
Me too. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. It's just depressing to see. It's just depressing to see because it's like, look, it's a perfect opportunity to like for this to be an educating moment for me to be like, okay, look, Asmongold made the right decision. Fucking good job, man.
Yeah.
Like you saw that you maybe could have done a little bit better here, and you recognize that you corrected the behavior. Great, but that's not what he does, and that's not what he ever does, and that's not what any of these people ever do. And for what?
I
Why?
know. The crazy thing is that everyone forgets about it in a week. Like, why not try something new just to see how it goes down? Because, like, literally everyone forgets everything that anyone does on Twitch within, like, a week, 2 weeks. Except for some women who they do one thing and it follows them literally for the rest of their
It's
career.
true. I always
But, like-
say, like, because you got started around the same time I did, I always say I feel like us first gen, like, e-girl streamers or whatever you want to fucking call us, I feel like our reputations really were hurt then, and it was really hard for us all to rid ourselves of that reputation.
Totally. It's
Like-
still, like, to this day, I think. Yeah. Once you kind of enter in that space, especially us, I think as OGs, it's like that kind of is you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, if Asmongold watches this or it's clipped, just everybody's got short-term memory. Just try something new for fun. Just see what happens.
I second this. I second this completely. Okay, just for the memes, bro. Just for the
Just for
memes.
the memes.
Let's see what happens, man. Let's see it, man. You know,
Could be crazy.
it could be crazy. It could be, dude.
Could
It might
be
double your
crazy.
viewership. It might.
It
We don't know.
could.
But like, you'll never know until you try it, man. Okay, so just consider it, bro. Just consider it.
I'm so scared he's gonna watch this and then pause it and then go off. I don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, like, oh man, when and if he does, I'm fucked because like oof.
You really
Yeah.
went in on it earlier.
I was
go
No,
yeah.
but you really tried though. Like I was watching where you were just like, okay, I'm gonna try to just interpret this in as good of faith as possible. You
Mhm.
tried to give him like all the, I don't know, like you gave him
all
all
the
the,
benefit of the doubt.
yeah.
Like it's just like, and like I watched his entire coverage because he watched like a Vice video
Mm.
on the Ohio trail derailment, which is why he ended up in this position. And I watched all of it. I watched the video that he uploaded to his YouTube channel. And like at the end of the video, he's like, man, this is like really serious and this is really fucked up. And like, I can't believe this is happening to these people here. And where is that energy all the time? Like,
Yeah.
you, like,
Mhm.
why are like 0% of your energy should be dedicated to telling people to move? You know,
Mhm.
like
I
0% of your
feel like
energy should
it's
be.
like I said, I feel like sometimes like these, I don't know, Asmongold types, I feel like sometimes they just love invalidating others because they've
Mhm.
felt invalidated in the past. So then nobody can be validated. Like I feel like it also plays into how a lot of like the alt-right type will just like always be trying to fucking bully and invalidate trans people and gay people. Like they're like, well, I was invalidated once, so I need to invalidate you and I'm mad at you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's
like
also a cycle of that.
it's like survivorship bias. It's
Mhm.
literally just survivorship
Uh,
bias. And
yeah.
I am guilty of this. Like one of the worst things for me is like I'm really bad at when I see other people who maybe grew up in bad households. Like my brain immediately wants to be like, well, I did it, you can do it too. And
Oh, yeah.
I have to like unwind that. I have to be like, no, 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 no. Like everybody handles different situations differently. There are some
Mhm.
things that I don't handle well that other people, it was nothing for them. And I have to remember, okay, you should be considerate, you should listen, you should think and see before you say some stupid shit because your experiences are not always going to be the same and people are going to handle different stresses differently.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing here. It's like, I feel like in his position, it's like, well, I would do this. Well, I would do that. Well,
Mhm.
I wouldn't put myself in this situation. Why are you doing it? Instead of like recognizing, like, okay, let me take a step back. Maybe I'm too biased for this conversation. Let me see what people have to say about it.
Yeah. Also,
Mhm.
RNG is so strong in life, right? Like, I even like just looking at two people that were raised in the same household, like how they end up in life depends a lot on like just random events. Like I
Yeah.
got lucky as shit. I was like working two
Me
jobs.
too.
Like I was poor, like
Mm.
poor. Like I was eating oatmeal for every meal, and then my one friend, literally, I'm not even kidding. Like this is not a joke, Casey. You're the reason why I started streaming because I had a friend that was like,
You've
"Oh my
told
god,
me
this
this.
girl, yeah, she made $200." I was like, $200. I was like, I could buy like more groceries, and so I went into debt. I like got a computer, which like not smart at all to do. Got a computer and I started streaming and I got really lucky, right?
Mm.
Because like I don't know if you remember Good Guy Gary.
Oh my god, I do.
Yeah, he hosted me like
Mhm.
like pretty early on, and Nicole Slaw hosted me really early on.
Mm.
And I got extremely lucky with that. Like I definitely was not like I yeah, I would definitely still be working at like Denny's right now
See,
for sure.
one of the things that I get triggered by is like I feel like some streamers and like some content creators they don't want to admit that there was like any luck involved because I say
Mm.
all the time I was just like in the right place at the right time in the
Totally.
right element and something happened like and I got
Yeah.
really lucky.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
yeah,
all
there's
luck.
like every single streamer got lucky. Every single one. Not to say that they all didn't put in hard work, not
Right,
to say that they
right.
aren't skilled in their own ways or that they don't have any talent. Like a lot of the biggest content creators are very funny. They can think on their feet. They can
Mhm.
perform. They can entertain. They know what to talk about, what not to talk about. Like they have skills, but you have to recognize that they got lucky. They
Yes.
got really,
Yes.
really lucky. And you can't just ignore that. And these people will just forget that. They'll just be like, well, no, 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 no. But I worked so hard. And it's like,
Mhm.
but you could have worked really hard and gotten unlucky.
Also,
Mhm.
like everyone works hard. Like who the
Yeah.
fuck are you talking to that doesn't like claim that they work hard? And they do work hard. Like the the idea that like someone works harder than someone else with like streaming or like whatever, it's like they're working hard in other ways, right? If they're streaming 4 hours, it's because they have something else going on that they need to like do. If they're streaming 1 hour,
Mm-hmm.
it's because they have other things going on that they need to do. And like the more I think it was like Logic who was talking about like success is just like repeating the same shit over and over again and
Mm-hmm.
like praying that you get lucky basically. And that's true. And like depending on how much like time you have to put in energy to like roll the dice, will up your chances of like getting lucky. I have a friend that like amazing musician. She's so fucking talented. Her voice is amazing. But she has to like grind at her like job that she has that's like a regular 9 to 5, and she like tries to scrape money together to make her own album. She fucking like she doesn't have a car. She's got to like Uber there. It like it's a lot of money, and even just putting out that one album took out everything from her.
Mm.
And it's like that's her one shot, and it's so sad that you see so many people like throw their coin into their hard-earned coin into like the well, and you just have to like pray. And the number of people that like get anything out of it, like even Ian talks about getting popular from like Max Mofo watched one of his like early videos when he was like doing like bad unboxings where he's like opening up pencils, and Max was popular at the time, and he was like, "Oh, I'm coming to E3, do you want to film me?" So Ian like cameramaned him, and then Max invited him to Australia, and he started collabing with them. And like if Max didn't decide like, oh, if Max didn't stumble upon that video, decide that Ian was interesting enough to like have him film for him, and then like have Ian do that, Ian wouldn't be where he is today, right? Like if I didn't have good guy Gary host me because he thought that my fucking pink fuzzy hat was interesting that I always wore on stream or whatever, like I wouldn't be here. I would have given up. I promise, like I would have given up after like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's like literally completely based on, were you there at the right time and right place?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, you were? Here you go. Oh, you weren't? Okay. And for
Oh,
I think
too
it's like
bad.
people forget that for every like success story, there's literally millions of people that are failing.
So many. And
For every
losing.
successful streamer, there are literally
Yeah.
hundreds of streamers sitting at 5 viewers.
Like, it's crazy to me that, like, we're in the top 1% of streamers. I'm like, wow. Wow, I've never
know.
been top 1% of anything. Shit.
I know.
It's terrifying to like think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true as well. Somebody said a lot of viewers want to watch the newest games, and that gets expensive to stream. That's like super true. Like I remember there was 1 month I had to cancel my Netflix subscription because the $5 was like too much at the time.
Mm.
And like having to buy games, like I streamed League because it was free.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But there's like a lot of people like, oh, Hogwarts Legacy is like popular, like $60 or whatever the fuck that stupid game costs. Like fucking, oh, now we're playing Overwatch, $60. Like back in the day, WoW was like a $15 is it still a $15 a month subscription?
I think they are still charging them. I think they are.
It's pretty bad.
That's so fucked. Yeah, I don't know. That's so much money. So if you're not getting any money back, and that time can be used to either like decompress from your shitty job or like work another job, it's like you can't even put in the time to like become anything. Like that's a lot of streamers that get popular are young because they're not stuck in the grind yet.
Yeah.
And I
so
think
true.
that's extra bad, to be honest, because they never work a real job. They get popular on the internet, and then they're just loopy.
Look
They're,
at
like,
who we
not-
have here now.
Yeah. Because you're not tied to anything.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I don't know. I'm very proud of anyone that works a job and pursues their art or hobby or stream and grinds it, because that's crazy admirable.
I mean, one of the things I've been saying lately in like capitalism is it's like, like fuck, people can hardly even afford the time to take up a hobby anymore. Like they can't even
It's
afford the
scary.
time to take up a fucking hobby. Like
It's really like terrifying.
like let alone have kids. Shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Like I know that all of us are content creators, so we don't have time for anything. So like that's just to be expected when you do content. Your entire like my entire day today, I've been working. Like it's been
Right.
terrible. Like I didn't go to bed yesterday until like 11:30, and then I had to wake up at 7.
I just got done doing like a fucking long ass stream-a-thon.
I
I was like
know.
live for like
Oh
I
my
don't know
God.
how
Dude,
many
I was
fucking
like,
hours.
I was literally like, if Casey has to cancel, I totally understand because I saw you were like on your grind, and and like you have to be, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I streamed
That's
for
what
7
makes
hours.
this so nice is it's like, you know, like we get to like chill and talk, but we're also on the grind, you know?
Yes.
Like
yes.
it's
It's
kind
actually
of
like
fucked
the
up.
first good grind.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Like I've said this before. I feel like whenever you're trying to like make friends as like a streamer or content creator because you spend so much of your time doing that, it's like you have to make friends literally live in front of everyone. You know
Yeah,
exactly
that's
what I
true.
mean.
Yep.
Yes.
Like
And that's why I have no friends.
mhm.
Because I can't like I don't know, it's so stressful. Like just doing things live in general is so stressful, and then trying to make friends is like a whole other. But I'm really glad that I decided to do this because it is very therapeutic for me. I'm having lots of fun.
Right?
I'm very
Like I
glad you
was
did.
like all like kind of anxious today, but I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be so chill. Like
Yeah, I was super sure. I was like, oh God, like what am I getting myself into? I'm making like a big mistake, like to do this. Like, do I have the time to do something like this and energy? And I'm like, now that we
no, this
finally
is
did it, now that we
easy.
finally got it. Yeah, exactly. I'm
It's
like,
the
wait, I can do
easiest
this.
part.
Yeah, I feel guilty because I'm like low energy right now because I
No.
have a
Oh
long day.
yeah. Well, we've been saying we were like, we just need to do it. Like we're like, we
know.
just need to do it, and we did it once. So, and it seemed like we've been getting a lot of good feedback. Thank you guys for all the nice feedback. And we will be doing this again. I'm not sure when. Maybe next Monday, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, if
there's enough tea,
if there
Mhm.
is,
you know? Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
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 I don't want to end the podcast like before you guys want to, but I actually really like that ending.
no, I thought it was so heartfelt, and to be
oh,
honest, I'm gonna
we
piss
could
my
talk
pants.
for fucking hours. Like
Yeah,
if we keep going, like we'll have to pick this up next time.
Oh God. Well, yeah. Thank you guys for being here.
Yes, we're gonna
Yeah.
do more episodes, and we want to have on guests too. Like the other
Mhm.
thing that we talked about a lot that I feel like we all really believe in is just giving everybody a platform. Like we feel like a lot of the time, we've talked about this, like a lot of the time whenever there's kind of like community drama, you just always hear like the same opinions, and it's just nice to hear from different people.
Oh
Yeah, I agree.
So
I'm
because
excited.
it is literally the same people over and over and over and over again. So
yeah, but we'll have on guests in the future, and we have like some fun topics that we've talked about and whatnot. So yeah. Yep.
yeah.
I like the hashtags female gamer.
Oh my
girl,
God.
Yeah, they're so good. I love
so
them.
good.
I
like
have
Big Muff.
the Big Muff tag.
Muff.
Yeah, like my chat's always like, wow, Casey's still the only one streaming under the Big Muff tag.
Big Muff. React. Safe space.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I fucking love that.
But yeah, I guess we'll end it here. Thank you guys all so
Yeah.
much for watching, and check us out next time, whenever that will be.
Whenever we do it again on probably a Monday. Around the
Yes.
same time.
Yes. So yeah, bye everyone. Okay.